Good Friday evening and welcome into Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, home of the Tigers. I'm Adam Hildebrandt alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine will be on the sidelines for us this evening as the Broken Arrow Tigers get set to host the Jenks Trojan in what is the first home game of the year.
Oh, thank goodness.
It is October 1st, and we're just now having the first home game.
I never had that before. It's just ridiculous to have something this late. It's like it needs to be homecoming.
Right.
But, obviously our first home game is our Hall of Fame, and we honor some really great people today. So, that's a special night, and it's a special game. But, God, it's October 1st.
For what it's worth, my alma mater is having its homecoming this evening.
Really? I know.
About
most
5
of
miles
them
up
are.
the road at Lincoln Christian. So
most of them are.
It's going to be a good one tonight between Broken Arrow and Jenks. Certainly that's what we're planning on anyhow. Broken Arrow comes into the game at 2-2, and Spav, it's been a little bit of everything. We've seen some real highs and some real lows for this Broken Arrow Tiger team so far this year. And last week at Westmore, a lot of good things, but some self-inflicted setbacks in that game as well. Got to find a way to clean that up tonight.
Absolutely, and that's one of my keys of the game here is we need to play clean, because this game right here, as tough as it's going to be, is going to go down to field position. And field position is so vital in these games, and we cannot have unnecessary penalties or turnovers that were going to back us up and put us in extremely difficult positions, because field position is going to be a true factor. It's where we get the ball and what we do with it, and that's what's going to be important.
We'll talk more about that as we go throughout the pregame show and, of course, get into the game coverage as well. In the meantime, let's go down to the field and listen to the national anthem. Anyone who has paid attention to the Broken Arrow High School for any length of time is aware how good the marching band program is and the music program is here in general, but that is as good of a rendition of the national anthem as you will hear anywhere.
That was unbelievable.
Darren Davis directing. As a quick reminder, due to copyright compliance and licensing agreements, ArrowVision is not permitted to broadcast tonight's halftime performance by the Pride of Broken Arrow, so as a heads up, anybody can show the national anthem. There's not a copyright issue with that.
Yeah, but I was talking with Darren earlier, and he said they're going to have about 8 minutes of their 12-minute show or something. So they're starting to finalize what they're going to take to nationals.
So if you want to come see that, you'll have to come see it in person, but that's a good reason to come out and watch some football as well.
That's right.
In the meantime, we'll have you covered here on ArrowVision as Broken Arrow gets set to host Jenks. Spav, I know you've watched a lot of film on the Jenks Trojans this year. Or what have you seen from them over the course of the week when you've been taking a peek out?
Well, I've seen a lot of similarities. Their defensive coordinator was mine, and he's taken his game to another level. And so defensively, they're going to be outstanding. They're going to do a lot of things that we have not seen at all this year as far as zone pressures, sneaking in some double eagles, some double threes, and just they're doing a lot of different looks, and he's able to put a lot of pressure on you. But the biggest thing that they can do, it looks like on film, is their D-line can literally get off blocks and make tackles. And I think that's imperative because if your linebacker gets blocked, that D lineman's going to be there. And that solidifies a lot of things for you right there. Secondary does a great job, and he's going to jump in and out of man pressures and zone pressures. So it's going to be it's pretty similar to what we did here, but he's taking it to another level. And offensively, it's a typical Jenks team. They're going to run multi formations, especially early, because they script their plays. They script them for a reason because they want to see how we line up to them. And this will give them some adjustments times, like at halftime, how they need to adjust and how they need to attack us. So we have to play sound defense, because what that's going to do is we need to quit thinking so much about putting a lot of pressure on our opponent, but more so of being able to line up to all the multiple formations and being gap sound and fit the run well. We need to keep all the routes underneath. They have a freshman quarterback, so let's don't give up a big play. Let's keep everything underneath, line up right, and fit right, and we should be okay.
I want to go back and continue to talk about that Jenks defensive line against the Broken Arrow run game tonight, because you mentioned their ability to get off tackles, but A.J. Brown, the guy they have playing nose, is a senior. Mm-hmm. He's 6'1", 297. I mean, that's a big body. Evan Robinson on the other side is 5'9", 294. So he's not massively undersized comparatively, but that's a big guy across from him to try to move around. When you're facing a guy that size and with that experience in the middle of an opposing defense, well, we'll talk more about that in just a moment, as we've got the coin toss already coming up. They kind of snuck out there on us. Let's see if we can go down to the sideline with Madison Dildine and catch some of the action that's going on down there. Everybody's shaking hands, getting ready to go.
And number 45, Devin Shaw.
We got our head official introducing himself to all the captains.
The other officials for tonight. Robert Ramos is your line judge. This is Kevin Garrett. He is your umpire. Over on this side, Steve Jones is your back judge. Jesse Starks is your head linesman. My name's Harold Ausbaugh. I'm your referee. Okay, guys, we've already had the coin toss, all right? The black team won the toss and elected to defer.
So you heard there, Broken Arrow in a pre-game coin toss has already won the toss and elected to defer. Madison Dildine, if you can hear us, were you able to get names of the officials down there tonight?
Yeah, guys, we've got Harold Ausbaugh, Kevin Garrett, Jesse Starks, Robert Ramos, and Steve Jones. Guys.
There you have it. Five-man crew this evening between
a veteran crew.
Two of the big names here in the state of Oklahoma. And Spav, you look at even when Broken Arrow lost their last two non-district games, they were 1-2, still ranked fourth in the state. That shows you what level of football we're seeing on this field tonight, because those big four in the Tulsa area, Broken Arrow, Union, Jenks, Owasso, and soon to be Bixby coming up to the top level as well. It doesn't get much better in the state of Oklahoma.
We play good football. We really do, and we have great talent. The whole difference is we're facing some teams that have just as good, if not sometimes better overall personnel. So, we have to be able to compete with that, and we can if we just have the right mentality and strategies, and that's just what our kids have to do. Offensively, we need to focus on first downs. Quit trying to get the big play. Just keep the possession time away from their defense and just be able to get first downs and march it down the field. And I think that's imperative if we can do that. And just play clean and just play good, sound defense, and we should be okay.
Smoke billowing from the inflatable down and to our right as the Tigers get ready to take the field. Jenks has their inflatable helmet stacked up across and to our left as well. In what is Pink Out Night, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October. Today's October 1st, so a whole lot of pink at Tiger Memorial Stadium tonight.
I like it. The pink really shines on us with the all-black unis.
And here comes some of that pink onto the field right now. The Broken Arrow Tigers taking the field, looking to improve to above 500 overall in the year, but already 1-0 in district play after the win last week at Westmore. Strange though it was over the course of that game, it was a notch in the win column for the Tigers, and Broken Arrow will be looking to put another one there tonight as the Trojans take the field. I don't think Jenks was able to come out of the helmet. I don't know that it inflated all the way. I think they kind of had to group up out in front and come out.
They
from
walked
there.
out. They walked out of it, and then they took off running.
Well, let's go back to that run game we were talking about a minute ago because, again, Jenks has A.J. Brown right there in the middle. What kind of challenge is Evan Robinson, the center, facing for Broken Arrow tonight?
Oh, it's going to be tough because they're going to run some multiple formations up there. We have to be really good at our communication skills on that offensive line because they're going to jump in and out of the double eagle and just a 4-man front, a 3-man front. They're going to do a lot of things, and they will move the line. They'll twist it, move it. They them some tough on him to offensive linemen because they not only are they big, they have some speed. Pretty good.
Real consistent yet.
Is
What I will not get used to anytime soon is hearing my own voice come over the loudspeaker. As they've got the highlight video playing after the guys ran out on the field. There's a couple of highlights from last week, and suddenly I'm hearing my own voice. I'm like, what is going on here? All right. It's about ready to roll. Jaden Carroll is back to receive for Jenks, along with Glenny Jones. A couple of really quick skill guys back there to receive for the Trojans. Jenks in white jerseys, white pants, maroon helmets. It's a clean, classic look, highlighted by some of the pink. I see pink undershirts, pink tape around the wrist for the Trojans. For the Tigers, meanwhile, black jerseys, black pants, black helmets with the shiny gold numbers here today. The kick is away. It's a good one. High, end-over-end kick that carries 5 yards deep into the end zone. That's a touchback.
Great job.
Excellent way to start.
Now this is where we got to be really sound on defense because, like I said previously, they're going to jump in and out of formations, personnel groupings, and they're really going to test this right here. So we got to be careful with pressures or how we handle the pressure. They're going to see that and figure out how we line up and what they're going to do.
Shaker Reesing is a true freshman, as if you can redshirt at the high school level, is a freshman quarterback, and you do not often see that at 6A1 football in the state of Oklahoma. That is pretty unusual. What kind of kid does it take to be able to take on the reins of a program like this as a freshman?
He has to be a very intelligent young man, and he's smart. You can see him avoiding a lot of rush on film. You can see they're muddling up here.
Here's the snap. Quick run over the left side. Room to work. Oh, a big hit late.
Wow, that was an interesting play. First of
all, Jennings on the tackle.
First of all, they muddled it. Which means they put the line down and all the backs and receivers are behind there, and then they just rushed to the line of scrimmage. And they actually ran a toss counter, which is quite unusual. They're showing the toss to one side, and then he's coming back with the counter. Very effective play.
Not something you see all the time. 1st and 10 now. Jenks from its own 39-yard line on 1st and 10.
And another formation.
Jaden Carroll in the backfield. Now he motions out of the backfield. It's Reesing back there by himself. Trips left. Here's the snap. Wants to throw deep over the right side. Spins a good ball. It's caught at the 30-yard line. Across the left side, Glenny Jones inside the 10. 5, touchdown Jenks on the second play of the game.
Well, I tell you what, they ran that scissor route there and caught us in a man coverage, and we were trailing it and made a good throw right down the post in the middle.
That was an awfully good ball from the freshman.
See, there again, they go in the first play of the game, and they muddle, and they have all these tight ends and fullbacks in the game, and then they come back out, and they run an empty formation. And they're going to throw the football because it was a fullback situation. And running scissor routes did a great job.
Plenty of protection. able to knock it through. 6-0 Jenks, just 18 seconds into the ball game.
2 plays.
Snap back, ball down, extra point on the way. And it is good. 7-0 Trojans. And early, an opportunity for a response here for Broken Arrow.
Yes. And see, that's what I was telling you about, is just the multiple formations. They're going to make you line up the things. You got to be sound in everything you do. Keep all routes underneath. Is this a Cox timeout?
It looks like it is. I was trying to find him. Oh, it's because he's not wearing red. He's wearing blue
I know.
today. We'll take a break with him. 7-0 Jenks, just 17 seconds into the ball game. This is Broken Arrow football on ArrowVision. Welcome back to Broken Arrow High School. Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine is down on the sidelines. Madison, not the way certainly that the Tigers wanted to start. What's the atmosphere like down there on the sideline right now?
Do seem a little defeated, guys, but at the same time, Sterling Ramsey just looked in the defense and said, out of sight, out of mind. We got to focus on us.
One play at a time. You got to have that short attention span sometimes and forget what just happened and kind of put it behind you.
I know.
Marion Horn and R.J. Spears-Jennings back to receive.
You know what's bad is I have one of my coaches that used to coach for me, Ryan Freeman, is over there, and I know his family's listening. And
kicks away.
He's doing an outstanding job there.
Hanging up in the wind. Oh, little confusion. It's Horn that ends up taking the football. He's got a little bit of a lane over here. Check that, it's Jennings out to the 25-yard line, and he's wrestled down there. A decent return. Broken Arrow will have to go 75 yards, though, to get it in the end zone. A little miscommunication there on the return.
Right.
Well, Spav, the Broken Arrow offense went right down the field on its first drive last week. Ended up settling for a field goal due to some penalties, but
well, we have that ability. We just got to play clean. We had 2 tight ends in the game.
One receiver to either side as well. Here's the snap, 1st and 10. Quick throw left side, nearly intercepted, and there was a miscommunication there as well because the receiver just kept running. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Now this is where we have to be efficient on 1st down, because now we're 2nd 10, and I'm telling you what, Jenks will pin their ears back, and we've got to be careful with that.
2nd down and 10 from the 25. Quickly to the line. Here's the snap. Handoff Marion Horn, right side. Bounces off a tackler, trying to get to the corner. Shakes off one man, now spins out of another tackle. He's knocked backwards and brought down. They will give him the forward progress at the line of scrimmage, but that brings up 3rd down and 10.
Well, I like what we were doing. We muddled. When I say muddle, that means the line's down, but everybody else is behind a little tiny little huddle, and they just break it. And you have to try to line up to it. They did a decent job with it. But, boy, I tell you, Marion, he can go now. Oh, there we go.
A couple guys miss. There's a whistle and a timeout from Jenks.
No, it's offside.
Well, they did get offsides on Jenks. Is it both? Did they get called for offsides and then take a timeout?
I know. I mean, they jumped offside, but I don't know what happened first. But
as it stands, the ball's sitting at the 20-yard line.
Right. Well, here's the deal: is we're making them confused. Jenks is confused because they're trying to hustle and line up fast because we're tempoing pretty good. we're changing our formations, and they have to be able to line up to that as well. And so we're creating some difficult situations for them. So that's why they called a timeout.
The question is now, can Broken Arrow take advantage of it? And Spav, what was your, in situations like this, you know you already had them confused once. Are you calling a different play out of the huddle so they have to line up to something different? Or are you throwing it back out there again?
I like the idea of scripting plays and creating different formations. This way, they're going to have to line up different each time. But what the problem is, if you tempo it too fast, they're not going to be lined up where you want them to be. So you got to be careful with that.
Trips left on 3rd down and 10. Jones in the backfield to the right of Stieber. Here's a snap. Deep throw up the left side. It is intercepted by the Trojans on the near side at the 40-yard line. Coming up the sideline, undercut and brought down in Broken Arrow territory. On the interception for Jenks was Cade Stacy, and the Trojans have the ball in Broken Arrow territory to start their second drive, already leading 7-0.
You know, wasn't a bad, he didn't throw a bad ball. It was just a little overthrown, but it was just into, you know, that safety came over, it was just into double coverage.
I think the wind helped carry it a little bit too.
Yes.
It was in a spot where Ramsey could have made a play on it if it were about 3 or 4 yards shorter, but it floated over his head.
Yeah. Well, we did the old scissor route as well, and that's where the two receivers crisscross, and but they were in a zone and they were prepared for it.
Now Jenks back on offense. Reesing already with a touchdown pass in the game. 7-0 Jenks. Reesing 1 for 1 for 61 yards. Here's the snap. They hand it off straight up the middle. Not a lot of room this time for Jaden Carroll. And he's brought down for a minimal gain, maybe a yard, down to the Broken Arrow 46-yard line.
Yeah, just run a little split zone there. And we defended it very well. We're getting a lot of penetration. That's what we needed in that. Now we have them 2nd and long, which is to our advantage now. We need to be able to hold them on this down.
2nd down and 9. Reesing has a fullback, a tight end, and a receiver to his right. Now he motions into the backfield, handoff over the left guard. Lots of running room this time for Carroll, bouncing it outside. 1st down yardage to the 35. Now tries to run through a man at the 30, and he's brought down at the 29 of Broken Arrow. That'll move the chains. 1st down and 10. Jenks from the BA 29.
Running the counter. I tell you what, they can go in different formations and run that counter. And you've got to be prepared for that every time. That's 2 counters that they've ran against us with big yardage. And they ran them 2 different ways in 2 different formations.
And there was a lot of eye candy going on with that one, too. You got the running back coming in motion behind. There's a lot to try to intake as a defender there.
A lot of smoke and mirrors, you're right.
1st and 10 from the BA 29 for Jenks. Moving left to right, ball on the left hash. Trips right to left on an empty set. A whistle and a timeout. No, a flag, offsides against the Tigers.
Oh, man. I missed that one.
Last week, Broken Arrow had 13 penalties for 123 yards.
But see, they're in the red zone. We can't give them a 1st and 5. See, this is important for us to see how and tough we can be in the red zone.
Be aggressive yet disciplined.
Oh, yes. Because now you're not going to throw the deep closer to your play.
The guy in there is a whole defensive play. Deep who stuck has been knocked the ball away.
Well, they were vertical, and we defended the very when you're on the 20.
Second down and 5. Helps out the situation to the yard a little bit. Here's the snap. And not a ton. Are able to dive forward for a couple yards. 3rd down and 3. I'll take 3rd and 3. That was actually Jalen Stanford on the carry.
That was great. defending that.
Play first quarter. Jenks leads 7-0 at Broken Arrow. First home game here. Tie snap, handoff straight up the middle, trying to pushes forward yardage inside the 50. It was gummed up.
They have two tight ends and they have two full, and you could run that counter either side. I mean, they balanced out and they ran the counter, and it's just they're going to look invitation and they're going to run to that side.
1st and 10 from the receiver split. That's Glenny Jones. He's already caught a touchdown pass. Now he motions tight ends here. Here's the snap. They fake the pitch. Pitch was right as Reesing dumps it off into the flat near side. He cut at the 12-yard line to the 11. Give him in yard. Tigers didn't bite on anything.
It was good defense. So did very well.
Since 7. Right check. Briley Ferguson checks out for
continue to beat ton here.
Reesing has the play from the sideline and John. Right. Across the formation from Jones to the left side. Man-to-man defense. Reesing looking. Leaping catch is made in the end zone. Touchdown. Jenks.
That was to bound. Motioned one of them to the field.
And this is one-on-one where he was going with football.
It had to be man no matter what. Even a zone. But the thing in that direction and run the. And so he got the distance between him.
Snap. Snap. 17 left.
We covered it pretty well. It was just his back was turned. He just had sight of the ball.
He allowed Jones to do it.
Exactly.
Football was what ended up being a pretty clean catch. Ball the other. 13 remaining here. In the Tag. $14-0 Jenks was set play in the quarter. The Tigers need a response as the kick is away. By trying to bring it inside, not a lot of room around the corner, and now he does have space across the 25. It didn't look like
that was some some tough hitting out there on that return.
And Madison.
As I was just able to listen to their offensive, we're supposed to be doing it with Trusty.
It's true.
Do with a little bit of room. Able to 49. That didn't look like much. Just made quite a bit out of it.
Well, we had a lot of misdirection there, and they're muddling the huddle at that time, so difficult to line up to.
That's the first carry of the night for Nate Jones. Tigers went 3 and out on their first drive. On 2nd down and 5, a swing pass to the near side. Jones somehow absorbs the first hit, gets knocked sideways, and then is able to get about 3 yards out to the 43-yard line. So that will make it 3rd down and 2. And the Tigers have a chance to move the chains here for the first time, Spav.
Well, we got different personnel in the game, put some tight ends in the game, so we're going to see what we can do now.
3rd and 2 from the 43. 2 tight ends right. Here's the snap. Quarterback run. Stever bounces off one tackler, gets hit again, pushing his way forward. And I believe he's got first down yardage just across the 45-yard line. He got hit at least 3 times before he got that first down.
I know. He's tough. He's tough.
Indeed,
I like the way they muddle because they're having difficulty lining up to that stuff. Muddle just means they're hurrying up that offense. And they can't. So now they do the same personnel and they spread the formation. So I like what we do there.
Trips right. Ball almost directly between the hashes. Now Jones motions out of the backfield. They dump the pass off. It's a tight end screen, and Wilhite has it across the 50-yard line into Jenks territory and brought down around the 45. He may have moved the chains again. I love the play design, Spat.
I do too. I love that play. You can see their defensive coordinators going crazy over there.
It was effectively a counter play, if you think about it, because they run the running back out to that side like they're going to throw the pass to him, and then they dump it to the tight end. Instead, all the eyes move towards that running back.
Absolutely. Excellent play.
1st down and 10, Broken Arrow from the Jenks 45. Stever wants to throw, got some time, launches it up the left side this time, looking for Horn. It's caught! A basket catch at the 10-yard line, and he falls backwards to the 6. 1st and goal, Tigers at the Jenks 6-yard line.
That's like a back shoulder catch. That was excellent. Excellent. That's one thing about our receivers. They can catch the ball when it's in the air. I mean, it is.
One nice thing about being Griffin Stever is you got 2 guys on the outside that are capable of making every play in the book against a defender.
Well, no matter how bad the ball's thrown or whatever, these cats can catch the ball.
1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Not a lot of room that time. Down to around the 5-yard line as we approach the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. Jenks leading 7-0.
Well, I see some things that we could do with that smoke and mirrors. You know, they can release that guy in the flat and run a bootleg off of it.
2 receivers right, 1 left. And Horn split out by himself to the left side. Here's a snap. Stever wants to throw the fade left side. It's too high for Horn. There's a lot of hand jostling.
Gosh.
A couple of people down there calling for the flag. I suspect they might have deemed that to be too high of a throw.
It may be.
Brings up
but
3rd down.
There was a lot
of
contact there. There was a lot of contact. But see, it's so difficult to run, you know, in the boundary a fade route because it's got to be thrown so quickly because you don't have to run very far.
Quickly to the line. 2 receivers left on 3rd and goal from the 5. Stever wants to throw it again. Dumps it off into the flat left side. It is caught. Touchdown, Broken Arrow. Ryan Fox with the catch and the score, and the Tigers are on the board.
God, I tell you what, the flag route over top, the corner route over top was open too.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a great play.
No, that ball, that pass wasn't particularly open, but it was a good ball from Stever and a quick decision.
Right, he threw it hard enough to where you had a great chance of catching it.
14-6. Hunter Martins is 11 for 12 on PATs this year, making 12 of 13, and he cuts the deficit in half, 14-7. Spav, you feel like the Tigers needed that one?
Oh, definitely, we needed it. We definitely need that. When you're down 14-0, we needed to respond, and we did, and that shows a lot with our kids. Now we need to respond defensively because it's been too easy for them offensively. So we've got to shut that down, and we need to be able to have a good stop here.
Tigers will be trying to find a way to adjust a little bit defensively. There's been some high points, a few minimal to neutral yardage plays, but not many negative plays so far, and it might take something like that to spark a sack, a tackle for loss, something like that to just really start to get the momentum changed.
Well, their style of offense prevents you from putting a lot of pressure on them because you're so busy lining up to their formations and trying to fit the run soundly so you don't give up big plays. So it's real difficult to put pressure on the quarterback. So they do a lot of play action, a lot of formations.
Jones back to receive along with Carroll. Hunter Martin's kick is away. It was a touchback last time. This one's trying to carry. It'll be caught at the 3-yard line, up the right hash. Now cutting towards the middle of the field. He's hit and knocked down back at the 16-yard line, make it the 17. Excellent kick coverage, Spat.
Great coverage. But the thing is, he kicks the ball high. And even though he kicked it to the 5-yard line, he kicks it high, gives us time to cover. So getting the ball on the 17-yard line, that's pretty good.
It's the worst starting field position either team has had, actually. Jenks went 80 yards on its first drive, but it took only 2 plays to do it. And Spav, we talked about this earlier in the week. It was going to be important for the Tigers to keep things in front of them defensively.
Absolutely.
If you can keep things in front of you on this drive and make Jenks snap it a bunch of times to go 80 yards, you give yourself a better chance.
There's no doubt. No doubt.
2 receivers left. Now a tight end motions from right to left. A whistle and a timeout from the Trojans. They must not have been lined up right.
Confusion, yeah. That's unusual on a first down just right off the bat.
That's 2 timeouts used in the first quarter. You certainly don't like to see that from a coaching perspective. Now, in this first half, it's not quite as imperative with a whole second half of football left to be played, but it might make things a little harder on your 2-minute offense, or eventually you're going to run out of timeouts to help fix whatever problem might be going on out there.
Correct.
Defensively, do you throw a different look at Jenks here? Do you try to switch something up?
Sometimes that's difficult. If you don't have that in your arsenal, because they're going to make you line up a certain way because they use 2 tight ends, fullbacks, and things like that. You're going to have to line up either an over and under front. There's not too many different ones, or a double eagle type concept, but you're going to have to line up a certain way, and they're going to see that, and they're going to be able to attack the opposite or where the invitation invites them to do it. So here they are with multiple tight ends.
The Tigers have 3 down linemen and 2 standing on the edge as well. Tight end motions from right to left. Here's the snap on 1st and 10. Wants to throw. Freezing, looking left. It's intercepted. Up the far side. Dietrich Moore inside the 10. 5. Touchdown. Broken Arrow. Dietrich Moore with the pick 6, and the Tigers are a PAT away from tying it up.
That was awesome.
He threw it right to Dietrich Moore. Never saw him standing there. Moore made the catch and did the rest.
Well, it was crazy. They ran the receiver off, and then they just left some guy alone in the flat, and Dietrich just is a great player.
Hunter Martin can tie the game. Snap back, ball down, kick on the way. It is good. 14-all. And Spav, we were just talking about it. You might need a sack or a tackle for loss. That was a little that and then some.
We need the defense to come through, and boy, you can't come through any better than that.
This defense has scored in 2 consecutive games now.
Right.
Tigers returned a kick for a touchdown in game 1. They're getting a lot of scoring output out of their non-offensive units.
Correct. But I'm telling you, that was huge right there, and especially putting us in the plus margin, in the turnover margin now too. So that is really huge for us to do. Oh, no, we're still 0 because we threw a pick, didn't we?
Yes.
So still 0. So each of us has a turnover.
And it is 7-7 in points off of turnovers in this game so far. that one seems like the bigger momentum swing of the two. Anytime your defense takes it the rest of the way for you, that's helpful.
Well, you get a quick score, and then you score again immediately after that. That's just huge. But, we'll see how they respond because we responded well after the quick 14-0. Here it is 14-14, and there's 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that kind of response. I mean, Jenks was up 14-0, felt like they had all the momentum.
Yes.
And the Tigers able to turn it around in a hurry. Hunter Martin's already back on kicking duty.
Right. Yeah, they're asking a lot with this freshman quarterback, so they need to be careful. But if we continue to stop that inside run, we'll be okay.
You're certainly going to have to take some of the bad with the good with a true freshman quarterback. Here's a great kick from Martins. That lands 8 yards deep in the end zone.
Yes.
Of course, anything at the high school level that crosses the goal line is non-returnable. That one was very not returnable. Martins seems to really be getting more and more confident as the year goes on.
And that's huge, too, because not only is he a great field goal to extra points, but, his kickoffs are just tremendous. And it's such a great weapon. They have two weapons that can return touchdowns back there. I mean, they had a lot of speed, and now they just get the ball in the 20. We're not allowing any big plays at all. Okay, multiple tight ends.
That's just the second interception of the year thrown by Shaker Reesing, by the way. Came in completing 70% of his passes. They hand it off over the left side this time, breaking a couple of tackles on 1st and 10 is Jalen Stanford, and now he's in the open field over the near sideline across midfield to the 40, spun around and thrown down at the Broken Arrow 32-yard line. The Jenks Trojans immediately come back the other way with a big play. On the eventual stop was Buddy Mack.
Well, they're running that tight pro, we used to call it, 2 tight ends, 1 receiver, and a fullback and a wide receiver. I mean, you don't see that formation. They just ran that power play and just cut it back and did a great job.
This is starting to feel like it might be an absolute shootout.
Yeah.
It's already 14-14. There's still 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the Trojans are already in Broken Arrow territory again. 2 tight ends motion from right to left. There's a fullback in the game as well. Counter left on 1st and 10. There's a big old hold. There comes the 2 flags, and a big broken tackle on the far side. Carroll's still on his feet inside the 10, inside the 5, and he scores. It's not going to matter. That one's coming back. I mean, if you could have seen that one from, from Coweta, if you were watching this game from there, that was pretty clear. Anytime the defender breaks through the line and then suddenly gets yanked back the other direction onto his hindquarters, that's a pretty clear hold. And it was right at the point of attack, too.
Yeah, so that's going to be a huge 15 yards.
The initial signal is indeed holding on Jenks. So that wipes the touchdown off the board. And that was a play, sometimes you see a holding and you're like, I'm not sure if that one needed to be called. That one clearly affected the play. It was right at the point of attack. That guy was going to come through and, if not make the stop, certainly slow up Carroll.
That's right. And see here, now you're first down and a long ways to go, and you're putting yourself in difficult situations. And now our defense is just really happy about this because now they can be a little bit more aggressive.
Can the Tigers take advantage? 1st and 20. Split out to the left side is Glenny Jones. Trips right, 2 left, and an empty set for Shaker Reesing. Drops back, wants to throw left, got his feet out from underneath him a little bit, but now dumps it short left side. It's caught by Jones, and he's knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 14 yards back to the Broken Arrow 30-yard line. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, I think it just gave a little too much cushion on that one.
Yeah.
Of course, it was empty. It was empty, but we only rushed 3 and empty. So we were sound, and we should be sound in our back end, but we just can't give up too much cushion.
I presume Tigers were playing cover 3 there, so that corner would have been dropping. It's hard for that linebacker to get out that far towards that sideline.
That's right.
2nd down and 7.
They're adjusting the front again.
3 men left. Now motion into the backfield. Here's the snap. A screen dumped off up the middle. It's caught. Drugged down from behind is Jalen Stanford. About a yard short of the first down marker. I think that was Briley Ferguson that snuck in there and got the stop. He realized kind of late, but quick enough that was going to be a screen pass, turned around and was able to get the stop.
Well, we were putting some pressure on them. They were anticipating it too. They run that little tight end screen. It's very similar to what we did.
I love a good tight end screen.
Oh, yeah. You got
always takes people by surprise.
I know.
3rd and 2. Heavy set. 3 tight ends right. Fullback in the game as well. Handoff over the right side. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Spins away from it and gets knocked forward. A first down run for Jalen Stanford down to the Broken Arrow 20-yard line. And Jenks is in the red zone as we approach the 2.5-minute mark here in the first quarter.
You know, 1st and 25, though, we had them, and we let them convert that. We've got
1st and 20.
Or 20.
Yep. Now, that's not a whole lot better, but.
No, that's when you got to take advantage of it because we have the defense to play with them.
Ty Walls splits left, 2 tight ends right, fullback in the I formation as well. Here's the snap. Reesing hands it off on the counter left side this time. Carroll is upended. Chopped down after a gain of about 4 down to the 17-yard line. Coming in to make the tackle was Mitchell Banning.
Yeah, he made a good tackle. Because I tell you what, it looked like he was going to sneak out if it wasn't for that linebacker making a good play. But we were putting a lot of pressure on him right then. And right now, here's a time where you got to be careful with your pressures because they're deep into the red zone. This is primarily short passing. Now they can still run the fade routes. Don't get me wrong, but
2nd down and 7. 1 receiver split either direction. Handoff straight at the middle. Absolutely no room to work for Carroll that time. He's swallowed up for a loss of 2 back to the 19-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and a long 8 here for Jenks.
Right. And see, now it's difficult to convert this. So, you know, they're thinking right now is not so much convert a touchdown, but to get the thing playable for a field goal.
This would be, if they didn't move the ball here, be about a 36-yard field goal. Got to
have a little tighter coverage. You know, we can't let them have that flat route so easily.
R.J. Spears-Jennings playing the safety on the near side. Motion from right to left for the Jenks Trojans. Here's the snap. Pressure coming straight at the middle. Reesing fires it up the left side. It's high. It is lit for, and it is incomplete. The ball came free in the end zone, but a flag comes in very late. What on earth would that flag be? Unless it's pass interference, but it didn't seem like he was there early.
God, we let the wheel route come uncovered. They motioned to trips into the boundary, and they ran a wheel route with the motion guy, and he was open. He was wide open.
We'll get a look at the preliminary call here. The officials are talking things over. It was 3rd and 8. Are they going to pick up the flag? We haven't seen a signal yet. The official went back and is putting, nope, they're marking something off. They're still talking things over at the 19-yard line. And they're marking something off against Broken Arrow. We'll see if we get an official call here. We have not yet gotten a signal. Here we go.
Face mask.
Face mask against Broken Arrow.
Two face masks. Declined one. Boy. Oh, man, that was
I'm not
crucial.
Sure. He must have got his hand up in the face mask trying to get to the football, I guess.
Yes. Well, we had a 4th down going.
Yep.
And with the incomplete pass, and now it's 1st down.
That's become a little bit too much of a theme for Broken Arrow this year.
Correct.
1st and goal now from the 10-yard line. 2 tight ends right, I formation with the fullback. Here's the snap. They fake the handoff. Wanting to dump it is Reesing. He doesn't have anybody. Now he's being chased down. Lobs to the far side. It's caught. He's wide open, and Carroll will waltz in for the touchdown.
Yeah,
Spears-Jennings
play.
had the sack, and Carroll just popped out of there on the left side.
They're trying to run a bootleg to the field, and
I don't think he was supposed to be in a route. I think they just got lucky.
Right.
Boy, it's a bummer to have one go against you like that.
Well, it was a bootleg, so, you know, he was the running back that went the opposite direction, and He just leaked out when he saw him running for his life.
It's good awareness for Carroll.
It was.
Snap back, ball down, kick on the way. It is good. 21-14, excuse me. Jinx leads with 37 seconds to play in the first quarter. Boy, Spav.
Man, this is a crazy game.
Better defense on that drive. I mean, we
it
saw
was. We just shot
improvements.
ourselves in the foot at times. The two face mask calls. Those weren't intentional. They were anything of that nature. But it's just our bad luck.
You're looking at the instead of a touchdown, they were most likely going to have to attempt a 36-yard field goal. I mean, they could have gone for it on 4th and 8.
Yeah.
But
they have an all-world kicker, so
All-State
they
last
probably
year.
would have done that. Yes.
Yep, 21-14 the score. By the way, that kicker, Max Paskvan, has made 12 PAT attempts this year. He hasn't attempted an actual field goal on the season.
Really?
Which is unusual.
Well, last year I just know he had a great year. So
Yeah,
he was pretty outstanding.
He was phenomenal last season. They just apparently haven't put him in a position where he was needed to kick field goal wise.
Now here's what I'm curious to see what they're going to do again. They kicked it short to us.
Horn.
We had a big collision, if you remember.
Horn is back, and someone that is not R.J. Spears-Jennings, it looks like, on the near side.
Yeah, I know.
Kick is away. It'll be fielded by the mystery returner on the near side. Over the left side of the 20, trying to bounce it outside, cut down at the 21-yard line. On the return that time was Donnie Ree. Ree listed as a safety. Decent return out to the 21-yard line. That's where the Tigers will start 1st and 10. 31 seconds to play here in the first quarter. This first quarter has taken 45 minutes.
I know. And look at the score. It's unbelievable. I mean, that's like a game score right there.
Let's see if the Tigers can respond again. They got that muddle huddle going. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers left. 1 and a tight end to the right. Here's the snap. Jet sweep far side. Marion Horn trying to turn the corner. Looks to bounce it outside. He's hit and knocked down. Good open field tackle from the corner.
Yeah, it had
on the
to
far
be
side.
because putting him in space, that's to our advantage. So that kid made a great play.
I think that was Glenford Jones on the far side that made the stop. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Still got 2 on the play. We'll see if the Tigers elect to run another play here in this quarter. It doesn't look like it. 5 seconds to play in the first. Broke the huddle with 2 seconds, and that will end the first quarter of play. 21-14 in a back and forth first quarter of action.
Wow.
Broken Arrow and Jinx with the
We
Trojans
hadn't had time
on
to
top.
rest.
I know, right? Yeah, we need to take a little bit of a breather. We'll take the break, flip the field around, back with more in just a moment. This is Tiger Football on ArrowVision.
Just a reminder, there will come a time when they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true. Right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety in our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Welcome back, Broken Arrow High School. Broken Arrow Tigers trailing Jenks 21-14. A little trickeration. They're going to throw the ball deep and looking for Marion Horn. He leaps and he can't quite bring it in. A late recovery by the Jenks defender. Coming over to knock it away was Connor Bacon.
He was open. It was just slow developing, and we allowed that safety to come over.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Two receivers to the left side of the field. The official over there faked me out. I thought he was another receiver. One receiver split right, tight end right. Nate Jones to the right of Griffin Stieber in the backfield as well. Jones, we've not seen carry the rock a ton tonight. He had more than 20 carries last week. Tonight,
I know.
Just 2 touches for 6 yards. Well, apparently Jenks jumped off sides. That'll make it 3rd and 3. That's helpful.
And that's a typical thing we do. We freeze count on 3rd down to make the 3rd down easier to convert.
Third down and 3 now. Trips left in an arrow bunch, not far from the formation. Here's the snap. Stieber fakes the handoff, sips it over the left side. It's caught by Horn. Tries to back up. Now breaks free of the tackle across the 40-yard line. Hit from behind and knocked down near midfield into Jenks territory at the 49-yard line.
Great play.
Horn asking to come out for a breather. The Tigers now into Jenks territory. Ryan Fox sprints off the field as well. On the near side, split out is Josh McMillan. On the far side, I believe, is Sterling Ramsey. Here's the snap, handoff Jones, right side. Not a ton of room. He's hit, knocked sideways, brought down for a yard gain down to the 48-yard line.
Seems like they're penetrating those gaps when we get when we unbalance it. They're doing a lot of pressure in the gaps.
Tigers are only averaging 2.2 yards per carry tonight, but Griffin Stieber is 5 for 8 for 80 yards. 2nd down and 9. One receiver to either side again. A tight end to either side in the ace formation. Stieber immediately has pressure up the middle, spins away from one tackler, but then he's brought down for a sack back to the 47-yard line in Broken Arrow territory.
Man. Yeah, that's not good there.
Spears Jennings onto the field. He'll be the wide receiver on the near side.
Should expect pressure. Here they come.
3rd down and 14. Going to have to get rid of it quick. Here's the snap. Stieber dumps it to the left side. It's caught by Jones. He makes one man miss, being chased from behind, and he lost the football at the 42-yard line.
Man.
Jenks jumps on it. Tried to sidestep a man. The ball popped free, and the Trojans now get the ball with very good field position.
I tell you what, it's tough sometimes. You know, we can always say, oh, he fumbled, but I'm telling you what, young man's trying for extra yardage. Yes, trying to make a play, and he gets hit just in the right spot and fumbles, you know. So people can say whatever they want, but I tell you what, I want that kid on my team.
Tell you what, the news crews are getting to work out tonight with all these quick changes and everything. Those guys with the cameras have been sprinting up and down the sideline. We got a timeout on the field. Jenks leads 21-14 with 10:22 to play in the 2nd quarter. And the Trojans have the ball on their own 40 when we return. We'll take a break. This is Broken Arrow Football here on ArrowVision.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Adam Hildebrandt, Steve Spavital, Madison Dildine with you as Broken Arrow hosts Jenks tonight in the home opener for the Tigers. Right now, Jenks leading 21-0 and outgaining Broken Arrow 203 yards to 100, but the Tigers pick 6 has kept them close. So reverse to the far side, juking inside of a man was Glenny Jones. Now across the 50-yard line, he's got first down yardage into Broken Arrow territory, ushered out of bounds around the 43-yard line.
You know, that was set up nicely, but we had it defended so well, we just got to make the play.
Sometimes you're not in the right spot to make the play, and sometimes you are, and you just don't get it done.
Well, on both sides, you know, it's just trying to tackle Marion Horn. I mean,
Glenny Jones, we've already seen break free for 3 catches, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's clearly a weapon, and it's really tough if you get him in space.
Absolutely.
Jones is actually in the backfield this time as a running back. One receiver split right, trips left. Now Jones motions out in empty set for Shaker Reesing. We have a whistle, a flag from the back judge, and a delay of game against Jenks. That did not seem like a particularly long play clock, to be honest.
I didn't see that, yeah.
That moves the Trojans back 5 yards, back to the Broken Arrow 49. Now, we've seen Spav a couple of times Jenks get behind the chains, and Broken Arrow hasn't been able to take advantage of it. This is a big opportunity to get a stop and get the ball back with the score still just a possession away.
Because we don't have bad field position right now. Let them punt the football. We can't let them convert this.
Split left is Glenny Jones. One receiver split right. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Had him contained, but now breaking through the line of scrimmage. Fighting his way forward is Jalen Stanford. That's 10 yards down to the Broken Arrow 40-yard line. Make it 9. Second down and 6 coming up.
Yeah, I see. That's just
kind of had him bottled up there for a second.
Well, they pushed him forward, for the 10 yards, but still, we've got to be able to solidify that inside a little better.
Tigers have been able to keep Ty Walls quiet tonight. He came in as the team's leading receiver with 20 catches for 381 yards and 4 touchdowns. Walls is yet to catch a pass this evening, but Jones has done plenty of damage on his own. Second and 6. Here's the snap. Room around the left side for Stanford. Dips inside of a man at the 30-yard line. Now across the 25 to the 20. Pinballs around between defenders, and he's eventually brought down at the Broken Arrow 16-yard line.
He's got some wiggle there, doesn't he? That was impressive.
Stanford now has 5 carries. I'm going to have to wait on the math on that one.
Well,
that's 30. They just added 34 yards there. 5 carries for 87 yards for Jalen Stanford. The Trojans are averaging 12 yards a carry.
I know. They brought that fullback and put him on the line to pin the containment and let him bounce on it.
A bunch on the left side of the line. Now motion towards the backfield. Here's the snap. They hand it off up the middle. Cutting through defenders is Jaden Carroll inside the 10-yard line and brought down around the 8. That's a gain of about 8 yards on the play. Brings up second down and 2 as we cross the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. Jenks leading 21-14.
Man, they're really mixing up the run pretty effectively now. This is keeping us off balance, totally off balance right now. Now's the time where, it's 21-14. They're down on about the 7-yard line, 8-yard line. We need to take a chance here. We need to go get them.
Jenks is trying to make this a third consecutive 14-point run for one team or the other in this game. Here's the snap. Counter play left side. Carroll makes a man miss in the backfield, then gets wrapped up around the ankle. He's brought down at the 4-yard line. It looked like an ankle pick on the wrestling mat right there.
I tell you, that's that old school football right there. That's Jenks from old school. That's Alan Trimble stuff, running the tight pro, 2 tight ends, 2 backs, and run that off power play. Oh, my gosh.
Credit Dietrich Moore on the tackle. He's been everywhere and then some again tonight. Jenks came into this game at 3-1, Broken Arrow 2-2 on the season. Right now, the Jenks Trojans trying to run their way to a 4th victory. 2 tight ends right. Fullback in the game in the I formation. Here's the snap. Handoff. And a hit
good job.
In the backfield, R.J. Spears-Jennings came flying through to bring down Jalen Stanford.
Well, we needed that because they were running that power play again, and they just had an extra guy there because they were running almost like a power I formation. You had like two fullbacks, and it was there. Boy, coming from behind there, that was a great play.
Shows you the speed of Spears Jennings, too, to chase him down from the backside that quickly. Second down and goal coming up now from the 7-yard line for Jenks. The ball right in the middle of the field, moving right to left. Ace formation this time. How about this? There's two tight ends on either side.
Now, this is where they're going to run the counter. They can run the counter either way.
Here's the snap. Hand off to the right side. Big hole. Hit at the 3-yard line and upended was Jalen Stanford. He's 2 yards short of the end zone. It'll bring up third down and goal. Boy, that was a big collision.
Gosh, I know.
Dietrich Moore on the stop. He was a little bit slow to get up.
That was a collision.
Stanford had quite the head of steam right there when he met the defense.
But that formation just balances you up. I just see.
Timeout, Broken Arrow. Buddy Mack seems a little shaken up. He's jogging. I don't even know how to describe that. It looks like he's got one leg that's longer than the other as he jogs over the sideline.
He's gimping pretty good right now.
21-14 the score.
I hope Dietrich's is okay because, man, he had a collision.
We got a media timeout on the field. Broken Arrow trailing 21-14, looking for a big stop. Backed up against its own end zone with 5:32 to play before halftime. We'll take a break. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Everybody loves spending fun money. What would you do if TTCU Federal Credit Union gave you $200? Maybe something fun for someone else. Or something for you and your bestie. Now you can earn a $200 bonus just for opening a new TTCU checking account with direct deposit. Now that's fun money you can really enjoy. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
21-14, Jenks leading Broken Arrow with 5:32 to play in the second quarter. A first half that has taken more than an hour to play so far. And there's still plenty of time to play here in the second quarter.
I know, isn't it unbelievable? This has just been a heck of a game, back and forth.
The Tigers have made some big plays to stay in it, like Dietrich Moore's pick six. They've made some untimely penalties to give Jenks a little bit of help. But right now, Spav, till the Tigers can slow down this rushing attack from Jenks, it's going to be a long second half. They got to find a way to get those guys short up.
That's
on
right.
The front.
That's right. We've got to be able to fit the run. I said that right from the beginning. We have to be able to line up and fit the run because they are going to make it. They're going to do things. They're going to run the counter, the powers.
And again,
and here's that formation again where they can run either side because it's balanced. They're just looking at us right now of where they need to attack.
And there's really no way to hide what you're trying to do against.
That's right. They're just finding the invitation and they run the ball to it. Now you either just give them the formation or show them something and change it or do something, but you have to. They're dictating to us.
Third and goal from the 2. Here's the snap. Handoff straight at the middle. Big hole. Touchdown, Trojans.
Yeah, they trapped that.
Stanford takes it into the end zone. Jalen Stanford's first touchdown of the game, as well as Jenks has run the football. That's the first time they've gotten into the end zone on the ground.
Oh, really?
All three of the others have been passing plays.
Oh, that's right.
That makes it 27-14 with the point after attempt coming.
Yeah, they just trapped that. They saw us come with a little pressure, trapped him, ran right up underneath them. You know, this is a special night here tonight. Hall of Fame. We're celebrating the class of 1981.
81.
They were out in Tiger
40
Alley.
Years ago now?
Yeah, they were out in Tiger Alley cooking hot dogs, all sponsored by First National Bank, which is the bank that we use. They're great people. And but the class of 81. Wow.
I clearly parked on the wrong side of the parking lot, so I didn't walk by the tailgate and the hot dogs.
You don't do that?
I misspoke. No, I parked over here.
Oh, so you think you're the VIP? You park in the VIP?
That's just where they told me to park.
I know. Yeah, but you got to come to Tiger Alley. They have such a blast there.
I'm gonna have to take you up on that at some point.
Yeah.
28-14, Jenks over Broken Arrow. 5:28 to play, first half.
It's fun. I mean, Broken Arrow is such a great place of what they do, just with the celebrations. And even Saturday, they have the Chalk It Up in the Rose Festival this Saturday, tomorrow, downtown Main Street. It's awesome.
A few other scores from around the state. Owasso at home tied with Norman North, 14 all.
Wow.
Norman Tigers and Edmond Memorial supposedly scoreless, at least according to this. Santa Fe leading Westmore in the second quarter 20-10, and Union leading Putnam City at last check 7-0. Mustang over Southmore 42-0 at the half.
Wow. Yeah, but none of them are a game like we have right now.
See if the Tigers can respond. 5.5 minutes to play before halftime.
We have to respond.
Asvan's kick is away. It's a sidewinder of a kick that lands 6 yards deep in the end zone. The Tigers will start 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Now the whole point is we have 5 minutes left, 2 timeouts. Let's just march it. Let's march it down the field. Let's get first down, first down, first down. Get about 5 first downs, and then we can do something.
Jenks scored the first 14 points of the game. Broken Arrow scored the next 14 points to tie it up, and now Jenks has scored 14 straight again. Let's see if the Tigers can find another spurt.
Yeah.
The offense tonight, Broken Arrow's only run the ball for 7 yards. They've thrown it for 93. But after an excellent running performance last week, it's been a tough road to hoe so far in this game for Broken Arrow.
Quick snap.
1st and 10. Quick pass over the middle. A leaping catch is made at the 40-yard line. That was the tight end, Joshua Wilhite, bringing it down at the 40-yard line. A gain of 20 on first down.
Very nice catch. Kind of tempoed, took him off balance.
You like to see Wilhite up the seam there, go up and get that ball, not be afraid of getting hit. 2nd and 10, quick throw to the near side. It's caught by Horn at the line of scrimmage, roughly. He's brought down after a gain of about 3 out to the 43-yard line. And that made me a little bit nervous, Spav, because Horn had been out of his route for a while before that ball was thrown. That gave the defender a little too much time to get there.
No doubt, no doubt. But still, he's still a threat. But sometimes as a running back or a receiver, when you catch the ball, sometimes you just need to give it up and go down.
The Jenks player down on the near sideline.
So
after
you won't give
tackle.
up a fumble, so you won't create a fumble or something. It's still our ball.
Now keep in mind, as well as Jenks has run the ball, the Tigers are -1 in the turnover category right now. With those numbers in mind, this could be a 3 or 4 touchdown game. The Tigers are in it, down 14 right now with the football.
Oh, yeah.
Broken Arrow has managed to stay in this thing despite not a whole lot going their way in
as
this
quick
game.
as we can score. I mean, we're in it. So what was going on down there?
Cade Stacy was the injured player. He's able to walk off under his own power. Still 3 down linemen for the Jenks Trojans. Tigers have 2nd and 7.
See how we're muddled? I love this.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Very much bunched tight to the formation. Handoff straight at the middle. Ran into the receiver coming through on the jet motion. He was still able to get a few yards after the 46 was Nate Jones. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, it's nice. See, this is convertible. I mean, we can convert this. The whole deal is create first downs. Get a first down. I know I keep saying that, but it's just so important.
Effectively trips left with 2 receivers left and a tight end on the left side. That's the wide side of the field. One-on-one coverage down on the near side, although there is a safety over the top on 3rd and 4. Here's a snap. Steber wants to throw. Looking left. Now he's under pressure. Hit from behind. Spun down and sacked back at the 41-yard line.
That was a cover sack. They had us covered. He just held the ball too long. See, we needed to convert that. We really did.
Now the punt team has to come on the field with under 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. What's going on here? That's not Griffin Stieber back to punt. Who is that? Trying to get a number. Well, we see something goofy here. The snap is back. The punt is away. It's a wobbly spiral, and it is caught at the 25-yard line. Nearly kick-catch interference there. On the kick that time. Oh, that was Griffin's. What?
He's wearing number 2.
Okay.
Doesn't look like him, though.
That was Griffin Stieber. No, that was Garrett Lynch. That's a different number 2. He also wears number 2.
Yeah, because this guy's like miniature.
He's 5'10", 138. Stieber's 6'4", 215. Yeah. That's the size difference you can see from up in the press box. Okay, that was unexpected. Stieber's punted the ball really well.
Oh, he's been a great punter.
Yeah, so that was.
I'm wondering what they're doing.
It's interesting. 3:31 to play before halftime. Tigers need a stop.
Yes.
Even if you don't get a score afterwards, you need a stop. Two receivers.
We don't need to put pressure on them. Just cover them. They're changing the tight ends and flipping and trading them.
1st and 10 for Jenks from its own 26. Handoff, room over the left side. Out to the 30-yard line, and then wrapped up and stopped at the 31 was the ball carrier. Jennings coming through to make the stop. Jaden Carroll on the carry. Brings up 2nd down and 5.
That counter play just is killing us right now. We've got to be able to defend that counter. But see, they're not running a counter with the guard tackle. They're running a counter with the guard fullback or the fullback tackle, depending on where his alignment is.
Ace formation here with 2 tight ends. Hand off to Carroll right side. Got some space again across the 35. And he powers his way forward out to the 37-yard line. That'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for Jenks from its own 37.
You know, we're forcing in. I tell you what they're doing. They're cutting back. They're cutting the lineman backside. We're not getting the pursuit that we need because we're bottling and bringing and turning it back in, but we've got to be able to make tackles from backside.
I have a bad feeling they're going to take a deep shot here. Reesing in the backfield, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking deep, launches it over the right side, got a man up the seam, and it's too far out in front of him, incomplete.
Yeah, you thought right.
I had a queasy feeling, Spav. I did
not
feel good about that.
And he was open, too.
I was like, yeah, they're running the ball pretty well right now. This seems like a good opportunity to try to sneak one back there.
Well, you can do that on 1st down with that, even though I'm a big believer in being efficient on 1st down. But they took the shot on 1st down knowing because they can run the football very well right now.
When you're averaging 9 yards a carry, you can feel pretty good about taking a shot on 1st down.
Right.
Reesing gets the play, walks back into the huddle. Split to the right is Ty Walls. Still hasn't caught a ball tonight. 2 receivers and a tight end left. Now motion towards the backfield. Here's the snap. Handoff to Carroll over the right side. Trying to bounce it outside. He cuts inside the defender and is brought down at the 41-yard line. Just a gain of about 4. Brings up 3rd down and 6 as we approach the 2-minute mark here in the first half.
We did a little better on that with our backside pursuit.
That seemed like that play was strung out a little bit better than most of the runs have been tonight.
The whole point is you shouldn't have to make it cut underneath, because if you make it cut under you, then your pursuit should get it. You should always make it go to the sideline.
3rd down and 6. Empty set. Trips left to the wide side of the field for Shaker Reesing. Takes the snap. The freshman drops back. Looking right. Zips it on the run. It's caught at the 49-yard line. Driven backwards was Ty Walls, his first catch of the evening, but they give him his forward progress right to midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 there with 90 seconds to play in the half. And now Jenks will, I would assume, pick up the pace a little bit.
Right. They have 1 timeout. Let's see what they do. This little quarterback, he's got an arm, doesn't he? I mean, I
tell you what, a couple of those deep throws he's made, he's spinning a tight spiral.
Yeah, he's not a normal tight end or a freshman.
He's been out there throwing seeds most of the night. 1st and 10 from midfield. Trips left, 2 receivers right, empty set again. Reesing takes the snap, plenty of time. Zings it over the right side. It's a bit high, but caught. And tiptoeing out of bounds is Glenny Jones. Already 2 touchdown catches tonight. He gains 4 on the play and stops the clock at the Broken Arrow 46, 2nd and 6. 1:15 to play in the second quarter.
See, there's plenty of time for them, but situations like this, when you practice your 2-minute offense, sometimes you get a turnover on this real easily.
This would be a great time
because they're not good at it yet.
It'd be a great time for Dietrich Moore to step in front of another pass. He returns punts. He's pretty good at returning interceptions, too. Oh, the ball's dropped, loose in the backfield. Riesing falls on it, back at the Jenks 47-yard line.
Great.
Banning eventually in there to pressure him into just jumping on the football. 1:05 to play. The Tigers electing to not take a timeout here.
Yeah, that just blew their 2-minute because now the clock's moving.
3rd and 13 now for Jenks.
So Jenks is really playing to half now. We got to be real sound on this, get in like a prevent type style.
They're going empty. Really thought we might see him run the ball here.
Let's see, we're too tight on him right now, I think.
2 receivers left. That was a false start.
Penalty.
There's the flag from the near side. That'll move Jenks back 5 more yards.
There again, a wide receiver jumping offside.
32 seconds to play now before halftime. It's 3rd down and 18. The clock stops briefly at least.
They're going to work some combination routes here. If they're going to go that empty again, work some combination routes. They're just difficult to defend. Scissor routes. See, with empty again, they can really run a lot of situations here.
Nobody more than 7 yards off the line of scrimmage here. Riesing takes the snap. He's hit, gets away from it. Now he's wrapped up and spun down for the sack back at the 33-yard line. The Tigers are not taking a timeout here, Spav. 15 seconds still on the clock.
That was so cool.
There's the timeout finally from the near sideline. At least make them snap the punt and see if, you never know. They might snap it over their head and see what happens.
See, that's a tough thing with a freshman quarterback because you're in empty, so you only have your 5-man protection. And we're putting a lot of pressure on him. You have to have a hot route installed in that situation. You have to. You need a route to where, okay, if they are pressuring, where are you going to? And we used to call those hot routes. So if you're a receiver and you see the man blitzing off that edge, your man blitzing, then you need to pull your route up or do something that's game planned.
Tigers really had 2 guys get through the line of scrimmage there.
I know.
He was hit initially, and then a second guy came back and cleaned him up.
But that edge pressure, God, he came clean as can be. Because we put a lot of pressure inside, and there's only a 5-man protection.
Dietrich Moore will be back to return the punt. Will the Tigers come after it, or will they set up a return? Looks like right now they're setting up for a return. Try to get in the snapper's ear here. The snap is high, but it's caught by the punter. He's taking some time. Now gets the kick away. It's a wobbly kick. Not much chance here for Moore. Trying to come over to the near side. Breaks one tackle, but he's wrapped up at the 30-yard line and pushed backwards. And that will end the first half of play. I tell you what, Spav, that wasn't more than about 6 inches from going over his head and getting real exciting.
That just turned the whole game around right there.
28-14, the Tigers trailing at the half, but still in the ball game, despite being outgained 280-121. And the Tigers will get the ball to start the second half of play. So things are possible. Let's go down to the sideline of Madison Dildine. Madison.
Coach, trailing by just 2 touchdowns at the end of the first half. Where would you like to see improvement?
We got to quit turning the ball over, and we got to be better on 3rd downs.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, pretty straightforward message, but it's certainly accurate, Spav. Thank you, Madison, for grabbing Coach there at the half a little bit. You're down by 1 in the turnover category, and the Tigers, we talked about this in the pregame, haven't been great at 3rd down all year.
No.
Right now, they're 3 for 6 on 3rd downs, and perhaps more importantly, the Tiger defense has allowed Jenks to convert 4 of its 5 3rd down attempts.
I know, that's right. See, we're only 24% for the year on 3rd down. I mean, this is probably the number 1 stats that's just killing us defensively or offensively right now. We can't convert 3rd downs, and we're allowing our opponents over 50%. So that's a huge difference. And it's not that the stats are all different. They are a little bit right now, but this game is just like Coach said, is we got to quit turning the ball over. We got to convert third down. He nailed it.
We've got some halftime entertainment coming your way shortly, but as a reminder, due to copyright compliance and licensing agreements, ArrowVision is not permitted to broadcast tonight's halftime performance by the Pride of Broken Arrow. So we got some other things coming your way, but unable to bring you the Pride of Broken Arrow performance, just as a heads up. We will take a break. More is coming your way shortly. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Tiger football fans, I'm Madison Dildine, and we're here at Tiger Memorial Stadium about to go 100 yards with head coach Josh Blankenship. You ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. Coach, you've been back in Oklahoma since January. How has that transition been, and how excited is your family to be in Broken Arrow?
That's probably my favorite part. I'm from here, my wife's from here, all our family's here, and then to get to bring our kids back here and experience what we grew up and got to experience has been one of the neatest things.
That's awesome. Going back to winter workouts when you first arrived, up until now, the very first week of the season, how much growth have you seen from this team?
A lot of growth. They already had a really good work ethic. I think it's probably the thing that I can't stop talking about to other people when they ask is how hard our guys have always worked since I got here. It's been honing it in and adding a mental aspect to it that I think plays into how we perform on Friday nights.
Talk to me a little bit about some players on both sides of the ball that you are expecting to have great seasons.
Well, there's the two guys that everybody knows about, Marion Horn and Robert Spears-Jennings, that have gotten a lot of the offseason accolades and the attention from recruiters, so we expect big things from those guys. Griffin Stever's going to step in as a first-year quarterback. You're going to be a quarterback for a program this big. We have big expectations. Any of the seniors, especially returning players, you've got some guys in the secondary, Jacob Jennings and Javion Franklin. We've got some guys up front, Mitchell Banning, guys on the other side like Evan Robinson. And I could go on and on and on of guys that have some game time under their belt, and so you expect guys that have that experience to perform.
Talk a little bit about the coaching staff that you've assembled.
Love my staff. I think that's another perk of being at a place like Broken Arrow is this is a place other people want to be. So I kind of had the pick of the litter, so to speak, and getting the top guys that I wanted here. They've done nothing but impress me, and the way they develop relationships with their players has been awesome.
As we get near the end zone, your message since you've arrived has been to the tree. Tell Tiger fans what that means to you and to this football program.
Well, for me, as early back as the interview process, that was one of my main questions is, what happened to the tree? As a kid growing up in this area, that was the icon of Broken Arrow football, at least from an outsider at the time. And I wanted to find a way to tap into that tradition that I know means a lot to the people that played over at Kirkland. But then what could we do to make it a little modern to something the guys are buying into now? And simply put, everybody works hard. Everybody knows that to get near the end zone, to score, you got to go through the end zone. Everybody's doing that. What are we going to do to go a step further? Well, we're not just going to cross the goal line. We want to go all the way to the tree.
That's awesome. That was 100 yards with head coach Josh Blankenship. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
What does community mean to you? Here at Broken Arrow Schools, we can't think of anything better than the communities we create, both inside the classroom and out in the world. Our community is rooted in our 4 core values, where relationships with students, teachers, parents, civic leaders, and businesses are what drive our success. We celebrate our diversity along the way by building a rapport with each other, no matter what path of life we walk on.
Community means connection, concern for others, and a commitment to showing we care.
It's about working toward a common goal so that we can accomplish more together than we ever could alone.
Community is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It involves intentionally and purposely pursuing relationships that positively connect us to one another.
Community means new beginnings and embracing challenges. Community is 35 maintenance department employees doing our job to make it easier for you to do your job.
Community is formed intentionally, not by accident. It takes work, but it's worth it.
Community means volunteers and partners from the business sector. Tireless hours of giving time, money, and helpful hands are what make our businesses unique in Broken Arrow. Around the community, Broken Arrow schools are synonymous with helping hands and wonderful volunteers. Selfless acts of kindness displayed by our students, administrators, and teachers help build and strengthen our unity as one of the greatest districts in the state.
Community is finding our commonalities while embracing our differences.
Community is about partnerships and connections. Community is about relationships.
Community isn't just about living in Broken Arrow, it's about kindness and giving back.
Community is engaging all of Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow is about building community and service above self.
Broken Arrow is a gift.
Community means providing resources and activities to further enhance our academics, athletics, and fine arts programs. Showcasing our students on state and national levels in competitions and academic prowess is key to their future successes, both in collegiate life and beyond. State-of-the-art classrooms, equipment, curriculum, and technology unify our students under a common bond of academic excellence.
Community is starting new traditions and building a championship culture.
Community is building champions for life.
It's creating an environment that inspires our students to achieve their highest academic, athletic, and personal potential.
Community is showing up in droves of black and gold and cheering the Tigers on to victory.
Community is taking pride in working together.
Community means a sense of belonging where all our students feel accepted and loved.
Community is 31 school sites all across the district, using technology to teach our kids in innovative ways.
Community is feeling connected. That connection comes from being part of something that's bigger than yourself, giving more than you take, and having compassion for others.
Community is all of us working together to educate and empower students and families to make our world a better place.
Community is 13 years at Broken Arrow Public Schools and graduating with 1,300 of my closest friends.
Community means togetherness. Community means support. Community means belonging. And community is Broken Arrow.
Hey Tiger football fans, I'm Madison Zildine and we're here at Tiger Memorial Stadium about to go 100 yards with senior quarterback Griffin Stever. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go. You started at quarterback and then you went to tight end and now you're back at quarterback. How has that transition been?
It's been good. I've just been working with all my receivers, getting the timing down. I came into the season, wanted to play quarterback, wanted to get more action on the field, and I just came in here and made sure I got what I wanted.
How would you say switching roles has built your leadership?
It definitely has boosted my confidence and my team's confidence. I've been just trying to lift others up, and I'm trying to win a gold ball.
When you took the field for the first time in your first career start at quarterback on Friday night, what was running through your mind?
A little nerve-wracking, but I was confident in my team. We've been working hard all off season, and I believe in each one of my players.
Pretty early on in that game at Mansfield Legacy on Friday, we saw your coaches utilizing both the run and pass game. How does it feel to know that they trust you?
It feels great. I just got receivers that I trust to make plays for me and make me look good, and my linemen to give me time to throw the ball.
What are some of your goals for your final season in the black and gold?
I'm trying to win it all, and that's everybody's goal, and I really believe that we can do it.
Tell Tiger fans about a few guys on both sides of the ball that you think are going to contribute a lot this year.
Well, we got a couple people on the offensive side and defensive side. On the defensive side, we got Mitchell Banning, Trey Federhoff, Julius McVeigh, Devin Shaw, and a couple more people on the defense. And then on the offensive side, I think Josh Wilhite is going to contribute a lot. He's our tight end. And Ryan Fox, he caught one in the Mansfield game. And I also think Nate Jones and Michael Matthews are going to have real big seasons this year.
What's it like to have two weapons like Marion Horn and RJ?
It's awesome. You don't get very many chances to throw to two big-time athletes like that. And I love it because they make me look good and they make me feel good when I throw a big play.
As we near the end zone, let's do some rapid-fire questions. You ready?
Yep.
What song have you been listening to on repeat lately on Spotify?
Song? No Mentions by NBA Youngboy. That's a great song.
What have you been watching on Netflix?
Outer Banks. Great show.
Absolutely.
Great show.
Okay, last question. Chick-fil-A, Slim's, or Cane's?
Chick-fil-A. Easy.
Good answer. You can catch Griffin and the Tigers in action this Friday night at Union or on ArrowVision.
Just a reminder, there will come a time when they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true. Right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety in our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Everybody loves spending fun money. What would you do if TTCU Federal Credit Union gave you $200? Maybe something fun for someone else. Or something for you and your bestie. Now you can earn a $200 bonus just for opening a new TTCU checking account with direct deposit. Now that's fun money you can really enjoy. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
What does community mean to you? Here at Broken Arrow Schools, we can't think of anything better than the communities we create, both inside the classroom and out in the world. Our community is rooted in our 4 core values, where relationships with students, teachers, parents, civic leaders, and businesses are what drive our success. We celebrate our diversity along the way by building a rapport with each other, no matter what path of life we walk on.
Community means connection, concern for others, and a commitment to showing we care.
It's about working toward a common goal so that we can accomplish more together than we ever could alone.
Community is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It involves intentionally and purposely pursuing relationships that positively connect us to one another.
Community means new beginnings and embracing challenges. Community is 35 maintenance department employees doing our job to make it easier for you to do your job.
Community is formed intentionally, not by accident. It takes work, but it's worth it.
Community means volunteers and partners from the business sector. Tireless hours of giving time, money, and helpful hands are what make our businesses unique in Broken Arrow. Around the community, Broken Arrow schools are synonymous with helping hands and wonderful volunteers. Selfless acts of kindness displayed by our students, administrators, and teachers help build and strengthen.
Larry served as the voice of the Broken Arrow Tigers for more than 20 seasons, beginning at Kirkland Field and continuing his Friday night public address work at Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. He continues to serve as the public address announcer for the pride of Broken Arrow, along with basketball, baseball, softball, track, and wrestling. Larry is joined on the field by his wife, Sally, grandson, Spencer, and Broken Arrow Director of Bands, Darren Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, 2021 Broken Arrow Hall of Fame inductee, Larry Clark. Your next Hall of Fame inductee is Trey Cobb. Trey graduated in 2013 and was a high school All-American, a two-time Louisville Slugger honoree, and was a starting pitcher for the 2011 state champion and national championship Tiger baseball team. Trey was a 4-year letter winner and Big 12 honorable mention as a sophomore and junior at Oklahoma State University. Currently, he is an all-time leader in games pitched at Oklahoma State and was drafted in the 8th round by the New York Mets. Trey is joined in the field by his wife, Casey, daughters Olivia, Caroline, father, Hay, mother, Jennifer, and his brother and sister, Wyatt and Addie. Ladies and gentlemen, 2021 Broken Arrow Hall of Fame inductee, Trey Cobb. Your next inductee this evening is Linda Gibson, an English teacher at Broken Arrow's North Intermediate High School from 1991 to 2007. She and her late husband, Russ, have been Tiger football season ticket holders since 1988. Since her retirement, Gibson has served as the athletic department in several areas, including football season ticket sales and game night varsity club events. She also is a longtime member of the Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. Linda is joined on the field by her daughters Megan and Brooke and her son Tyler. Ladies and gentlemen, 2021 Broken Arrow Hall of Fame inductee, Linda Gibson. Your next Hall of Fame inductee is Rick Myers, who graduated in 1990. A 3-year starter as a kicker, punter, and receiver. Myers was named in 1989 Tulsa Tribune Player of the Year, named the Oklahoma Elite 24 kicker and OSSAA All-State. He has set a school record with a 49-yard field goal that lasted until 2004. Myers was also a 3-year starter as a soccer. He was a 1990 All-State soccer midfielder and earned All-State honorable mention in 1989. He kicked collegiately at Oklahoma State, leading the team in scoring in 1991. Rick is joined on the field by his wife, Rita, mother and father, Sharon and Richard Myers, sister Sheila and Christy, and his daughter, Charlotte. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Broken Arrow Hall of Fame inductee, Rick Myers. Up next, your 2021 Hall of Fame inductee is Richard Mosby. Richard has been a part of Broken Arrow Athletics for more than 50 years, starting his career as a teacher, junior high football, wrestling, track coach, and bus driver. When Memorial Stadium opened in 2000, Mr. Mosby, who retired the year before after 30 years, came back to the athletic department part-time as an event manager. He was responsible for things such as visitor bus parking, completion of event workers' paperwork, opening visitor and official locker rooms, and informational sign posting on game days. Richard is joined on the field by his wife Emma, daughters Leanna, Susan, and Corey, granddaughter Summer, Kim, and great-grandchildren Doug and Devin. Ladies and gentlemen, 2021 Hall of Fame inductee, Richard Mosby. Last up this evening, Hall of Fame inductee, Zach Beach. Zach graduated in 2012, where he was a two-way starter for Broken Arrow's 2011 state runner-up football team. He was named All-State tight end by the Oklahoma Coaches Association and All-State defensive end by the Oklahoma. He was ranked by the Super Prep as number 39 among prospects in the Midlands region, number 10 overall in the state of Oklahoma by Rivals, and number 48 by Scout among all tight ends in the country. Zach was a 3-year starter at 4 different positions at Oklahoma State University. This evening, Zach is joined on the field by his fiancée, Melissa, mother Kathleen, father Mark, and brother Will. Ladies and gentlemen, 2021 Hall of Fame inductee, Zach Beach. How about one more round of applause for your 2021 Broken Arrow Athletic Hall of Fame class. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Pride of Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow and Jenks at the half. Jenks leading 28-14 over the Tigers as we approach the second half of play, having honored some new Broken Arrow High School Hall of Famers at halftime, Spav. And we saw a wide range: softball, band, football, baseball. Clearly, a rich athletic tradition here at Broken Arrow High School, and it was cool to see all those different people on it.
We do a great job with this Hall of Fame, and we always have just great selections. It's really interesting, too. Zach Beach is one of them, and he was a tight end for me when I was the coach here. And what was really made me feel really good is I see the defense coordinator for Jenks, which was mine at the time, and coached him, come across and hug him. You know, I mean, those are lifelong memories, and he was just such a great player. And to honor to other people is just a great night.
That's one thing you certainly see that at the college level some, but not as frequently as the high school level, where guys move around to different area high schools and they see each other every year.
Right.
They're still competing against each other, and you get to see some neat moments.
And you're proud of
like
them.
Yeah.
You're just proud of them. You just want you to know that you love them.
Well, and Veach was one of the kind of early pioneers of the cowboy back position at Oklahoma State.
Well,
that was kind of still under development when he went over there to
play. 4
play.
different positions.
Yeah.
You know? Well, hopefully we do a better job this half. Not so much score-wise, but I tell you, of the 24 minutes that we played, they had the ball 16 minutes.
And that's going to make it tough for you to score more points in the
Exactly.
opponent.
We have to change that.
Kick is away. It's an end-over-end kick that is caught 6 yards deep in the end zone by R.J. Spears-Jennings. Tigers will have it at the 20-yard line to start the second half, 1st and 10. And you know, Spab, Tigers were outgained 280 to 121, including 164 to 5 on the ground, and only had 5 first downs in that first half. That all being said, if you go down and score on this drive, it's a one-possession ball game. I mean, the Broken Arrow is still very much in this game if you can find a way to turn some of those trends around.
If we can just stop their run, we'll be good.
Trips right on 1st and 10. Broken Arrow moving left to right if you're listening on the audio-only stream. Long pass to the near flat. Horn catches it. Was trying to juke around a little bit. Realized he didn't have much room to work. Just lowered his shoulder, and he adds a few extra yards out to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 9. A good decision there by Horn.
Yeah, it's a good route. You know, Jenks was showing pressure from the boundary, and then they ran out of it, and he made a great decision on the play. He's looking at 9 yards.
2nd down and 1. That opens up the playbook a little bit right here.
Absolutely, especially down here, what I used to call the blue zone.
Motion from Fox left to right. They fake the handoff, give it straight up the middle. Nate Jones, 1st down yardage across the 30.
Very
He's
nice.
stacked up and pushed back, but not before he gains 4 yards out to the 33-yard line. Jones actually ended up eventually emerging from the other end of the blob, but they stopped his forward progress. It is a 1st down, though, for Broken Arrow.
You know, we're coming out shooting right now. I mean, we just look like a different ball team right now. Made some great adjustments at half.
Trips left, pink stirrups and tape, socks, the whole shebang with the black uniforms for the Tigers today. That was a low snap. Somehow Stever's able to get it away, and a tight end screen up the near side gains about 7 more yards out of the 40-yard line. Somehow Stever was able to get it to Joshua Wilhite, his former fellow tight end.
And they had him all over his arm.
Yeah.
You know, that's his strength. They put a lot of pressure on him right there.
That was a bit of a broken play. Tigers trail by 14.
Here they're coming again.
2nd down and 3. And now the defender backs off.
Yeah, they're coming out of it.
Caden Vanoy looked like he was going to blitz. They rush 4, handoff up the middle. Jones hits the man up the middle, and then gets stacked up by a linebacker and pushed backwards. He was first hit by A.J. Brown. He gets about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, AJ is he's just a beast in the middle there. We've got to find an answer for him. I don't really know what it is. You know, the inside game, maybe trap him. You know, there's a lot of things we don't know. I don't know what you do. I'd have to see more
Especially the
film.
way they line up those defensive ends in those 3 techniques.
See, now he's in a double eagle look.
It's a direct snap to Jones. He's got the 1st down across the 45-yard line. He tumbles forward out to about the 46. So they motion him into a little bit of a wildcat formation there, and Jones is able to move the sticks again. 1st and 10 from Broken Arrow's home 46.
Yeah, and then Jenks jumps into a double eagle just to try to prevent any pulling action.
One high safety right now. Here's the snap on 1st and 10. Hand out to Jones left side. He had a little bit of a seam there. It closed up pretty quickly, but he does gain 3 yards out to the 49-yard line.
Now that's the play I think that we need to run a little bit more. That's the stretch play, and you know, this way you're able to overtake those defensive linemen and let that running back find a seam.
Checking out of the game for the Tigers, Zachary Siebert, it looked like. I read that number correctly. 2 receivers right, stacked one on top of the other, one left. Here's the snap. They're working on the reverse. Now it comes all the way back to Stieber. He was looking for the man at the near side, but it's incomplete. It was well covered. They were trying to get Jones on the wheel route. Instead, the pressure came and got back to Stieber on the trick play, and it ends up being a loss of 8 back to the 41-yard line, 3rd and long.
Boy. They just cover that well.
They did.
I mean, that's a neat play. I like the play, and I like even the timing of the play.
It was effectively a double reverse flea flicker.
That's right.
But Jones never was able to break free. 3rd and long. Stieber steps up in the pocket. Now he's hit, tried to potentially throw it away late, but he's brought down for a sack. He loses about 3 more back to the 38-yard line, and the Tigers will be forced to. They'll be forced to punt. Now they move to 4th down.
Right. Well, they had so much perimeter pressure there that he had to step up in the pocket. And
Stieber's down and limping a little bit as he comes off the field. Josh Blankenship over to talk to him. Boy, he's limping pretty good coming over to the near sideline.
Well, he's taking 2 pretty good hits there, sacks. Well, they had a lot of perimeter pressure. He steps up, but the thing is their defensive lineman can collapse that pocket. See that?
That brings up 4th down and 18. Here's the snap back. Jenks came for it. The kick is away. It's a wobbly kick that hits at the 35, takes a very Broken Arrow bounce down to about the 21-yard line and almost backed up on the returner and hit him in the heel. That would have been a game changer.
Boy.
It is down at the 22-yard line. Good punt, so Jenks has to go a long way here to score, and we'll see what Broken Arrow may have figured out defensively during the halftime break.
Now, was that our other punter again, punting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Stieber is still down getting looked at on the sideline.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can step our game up here.
The defense made a play to put points on the board in the first half. Now they'll have a chance to get a stop early here in half number 2. 7:51 to play in the 3rd quarter. Jenks leads 28-14. We'll take a break. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Everybody loves spending fun money. What would you do if TTCU Federal Credit Union gave you $200? Maybe something fun for someone else. Or something for you and your bestie. Now you can earn a $200 bonus just for opening a new TTCU checking account with direct deposit. Now that's fun money you can really enjoy. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank.
Welcome back. Broken Arrow looking for a stop here in the 3rd quarter. A handoff straight at the middle for Jenks on 1st down, and good penetration that time for the Tiger front. No gain on 1st down. We've not seen a whole lot of that in this game so far, Spav, so that's good to see here early in the 3rd quarter.
And now this is where we need to really work hard on this down to make the 3rd down conversion longer.
Jenks is 4 for 5 on 3rd down conversions tonight.
Yes. Well, and they've been short, too. We've been very effective on the 1st down, but not so much on this down.
Yeah, Jenks' average yard to gain is just 4.8 yards on 3rd down. That's fairly manageable. 2nd down and 10. Handoff over the left side. Room to work across the 30-yard line. 1st down yardage to the 35. Then hammered down at the end of the play was the ball carrier. On the tote that time was Jaden Carroll. That'll move the chains for Jenks. 1st and 10 now from the 36.
I think that was an unbalanced power. It looked like it was an unbalanced power play, and that just, we were a man short, and you could see that. There was nobody there for the running back. We took care of all the blockers, but Looked like we were a man short.
Is that an attempt at adjusting to those counter plays from the first half, and so you end up with being a man short on the actual power?
Yeah, I mean, because they unbalanced it. You know, we have to be able to adjust to that.
Here's the snap on 2nd and 10. Dump pass over the middle. It's caught at the 45-yard line at Broken Arrow. 1 broken tackle, 2, and now upended at the 35-yard line was the receiver, Ty Walls. It took him a long time to catch a pass in the first half. He's already been effective here in the second half as the Trojans are now in Broken Arrow territory at the 35.
Right.
On the stop that time for Broken Arrow was Elisha Wilson.
You know, Jenks is about the only team we've had this year so far that's really been able to throw the ball consistently in the middle. And that's just hard.
Right now, Jenks has run the ball for 178 yards and thrown it for 145. Those are pretty balanced numbers.
Right.
Reesing is 9 for 12, 75% on the night.
Counter.
Handoff. Left side, slips one tackle, now drugged down from behind. Stanford, not a lot of room to work that time. Julius McVeigh gets the stop.
God, he made a good move just to get what he got. Because we had that thing defended well. And that was a counter, and they've had a lot of success with the counter here. And we defended it very well, but yet he just puts a move. It reminds me of the old Kewan Jones days when I was a coach.
I was talking with Dion Amati, who's calling this game for Cox tonight. We were trying to figure out who exactly to compare him to. He talked about Devontae Freeman, who has played in the NFL for about 8 years now. Second down and 7. Reesing wants to throw. Looking right, dumps it off into the flat. It's out in front of the intended target, Stanford. Good pressure that time over the left side. That was Trey Federhoff who hurried the quarterback. It brings up 3rd down and 7. This is a big chance here. If you can get a stop on 3rd down, that'd be an awfully long field goal attempt.
Well,
this might be 4 down territory.
Depends on how much they get. Would be 4 down, yeah. And it's probably 4 down for them right now.
They got quite the kicker, but that's a 50-yard attempt if they snap it from here.
It's curious to see what we're going to do 3rd and long. Are we going to pressure them? Are we going to do something?
2 receivers split right, including Jones in the slot. He's on the line of scrimmage, so he can't motion here. Here's the snap, 3rd and 7. Quick pass over the middle. It is tipped in, incomplete, nearly intercepted over the middle of the field. That was Jadaean Floyd Wright that got a hand on it, and he almost made an incredible catch while falling to his back.
I know.
You get the stop, though, and force 4th down.
That was great. That was great.
And the kick team is on the field here.
God, I thought he had that. That was such a great defensive effort.
Remember, Max Paskvan, who was a first-team All-Stater last year, has not attempted a field goal yet this year. This would be quite the kick. 49-yard attempt from near the left hash.
Got to watch for a fake as well.
Snap back, a little high, but the ball's down. The kick is away. It's wobbly. It's got the distance, and it is good.
Wow.
And that was good for another 6 or 7 yards. That was a good kick. 3 points on the board for Jenks, make it 31-14 with 5:04 to play in the 3rd.
Now, when we heard he's good, he just proved it there.
That's a heck of a weapon to have at the high school level. That kick was good from probably 55.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a kicker to do that. That could kick from that far, consistently. You get a feel before the game when you're doing your specialties before the game, where he's comfortable at. You always watch him and you see what his distance is. And sometimes kickers will even tell you, this is it. So you have a zone to where you're going to get in a field goal range, and you know it before the game. And it changes every game.
31-14. You held him out of the end zone, so a positive step.
But good.
At some point, the pieces are going to have to start fitting together right now. You got 5 minutes left
especially here right now. We've got to do something offensively.
Right now, the Tigers are treading water. They're going to have to find a way to push Tide back the other direction.
Well, we need to increase the possession time, and we need to be able to march this thing down, like you're saying, march it down the field, and then get a score out of it. Whether it's a field goal or not, we need to march it down the field and make something happen.
Paskvan has it teed up near the left hash. He's ready to roll. Horn and Spears Jennings back to return. The kick's away. got plenty of leg on it. It's caught by Horn 6 yards deep. And the Tigers will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Well, Broken Arrow was able to move the ball a little bit better on that last drive, but it stalled out. They ended up going backwards towards the end of that drive. The Tigers.
Well, we got ourselves in problem, you know, with the double reverse pass and with the sack, and then, you know, stepping up under perimeter pressure and then getting collapsed by their D-line.
If you take the sacks out of it, Broken Arrows run the ball for only 29 yards. Here's a handoff to Jones, trying to spin off of a tackle, and he does. Gets out to about the 23-yard line. Frankly, that should have been no gain, and Jones broke about 3 tackles to get something out of it. It would be 2nd down and 7.
But see, that's positive. When you throw the ball or get a sack, that's negative.
The Jenks player down at about the 22-yard line. He's got a teammate stretching him out.
Yeah.
He said, no reason to wait for the training staff. I'll stretch you out.
But you know, it's cool enough outside, but yet it's humid. And kids have a tendency not to drink a lot on something like this.
That was Ethan Bilgreen, who was down. He's walking off under his own power. I had a buddy, I remember my senior year of football, we were doing our preseason conditioning and doing our conditioning test. And my best friend, Evan Allen, was running. We were running, I don't even remember what it was. I think it was maybe Killer 2s. So we got back, and it was the last sprint of the test. We had to make them all in a certain amount of time. And he made it, but he kind of stretched the leg out to make sure that he made it. And it was at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I just remember he crumbled to the ground and just his left leg just cramped like nobody's business. He's yelling, and I'm like, man, I'm glad that's not me going through that right now. Cramps are not fun.
No, they're not.
Varsity cheer winning an academic state championship. That's just been announced.
And I think they got 2nd in the state and did a great job. Broken Arrow's doing some really good things. I'm telling you, I love seeing what they do. What's going to happen next? I just love it. It's like tomorrow night, you know, downtown Main Street. They'll close it down and have, you know, the chalk. You know, what is it? The chalk it up and the Rose Festival. I mean, how cool is that?
There was live boxing at the Rose District last week.
I know. They just do such neat things.
How often do you see that? 2nd and 7 for Broken Arrow. Power set. They hand it off to Jones left side. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Able to still somehow sneak forward for a couple yards out to the 25-yard line.
But still positive yards.
Brings up 3rd down and 5. That's better than average. The Tigers' average yards to gain has been about 5.6 so far today on 3rd down.
Well, you know, 3rd and 5 is a lot better to try to convert than 3rd and 10, obviously.
Certainly.
But it's see, we're muddling. See, we're not letting them know what we're going to line up into. See how they had confusion.
Here's a snap. Wanted to throw it deep. Stever looking for Horn over the middle. It is incomplete.
Oh.
Went up to try to get it, just couldn't quite haul it in at the Jenks 42-yard line.
But see, this is kind of opposite my thinking. I wouldn't be thinking the deep ball. I'd be thinking a 5-yard catch and then yards after the catch.
But it looked like there was a guy open on this near side out in the flat that might have been able to move the chains.
It could have been, yes. But, I mean, my thinking is get the first down. Then get your playbook back in.
The Tigers now 4 of 8 on 3rd down on the night. Not to punt it away again. Motion out of the punt formation to the near side. Here's the snap. Kick is away. It is a high, wobbly, short kick. A fair catch called for and caught in Broken Arrow territory at the 47-yard line. And now the defense is going to have to deal with a short field here.
Right.
Yes, and a really short field considering clearly the kick range of Paskvan.
I know.
He just made a 49-yarder. He only got to go, 15 yards to get into that range.
See, this is a chess match here because you don't know what personnel group is coming in the game. So do we have the right personnel in? You have to really think of that when you play a team like Jenks. I was a big stickler on personnel groupings.
Press coverage on the top side. The Tigers might be coming after the run here on 1st and 10 for Jenks. Here's the snap. Handoff straight up the middle.
Counter.
Now bouncing it to the right side. And he breaks one tackle. Undercut. Jaden Carroll tumbles forward for a gain of 5 yards.
Did you see that?
Wilson on the stop.
You know, the two wings that were there, they were the pullers for the counter.
The two tight ends that were on the left side there. Oof.
Man, they ran that quick. And
that's a lot of guys at the point of attack.
And
blockers.
Speed, too.
2nd down, and we'll call it 5 yards. 2 receivers split left, 2 tight ends right. This is the mirror image of the last formation. Now one of the tight ends motions right to left, so it's an ace formation. Here's the snap. Hand off to Carroll, trying to bounce it outside to the near side. He's strung out, brought down for a loss back at the 46-yard line. A loss of 4 on the play. Jadaean Floyd Wright leading the way. And that's what we've been waiting to see for this defense. If you can string them out, get it around to the sideline, that allows your teammates to flow.
We have speed on the perimeter. If we can bounce it out, we're fine.
For crying out loud, your punt returner is your middle linebacker.
I know.
He can run this field side to side.
Yes.
You just got to give him the opportunity to do so. Julius McVeigh checks out of the game. Tigers will have 3 down linemen here at the most. Now Jenks is running look like a fullback over to the far sideline. 3rd down and 9 from the Broken Arrow 46 for Jenks. 2 receivers and a tight end right. Here's the snap.
Ooh.
Dump pass to the far side. He's hit, spun around, and brought down for a loss back to the 49-yard line. Well, I'm not sure what exactly Jenks was trying to do there. They might have been trying to set up a double pass bat, but the defense blew it up because there was not a lot of blocking out front for him.
No, that tackle pulled out. They had a tackle pull out to block on the perimeter, so they were trying to get the perimeter, but Banning wasn't going to allow that.
And Devin Shaw leading the way as well. Punt team is on the field. Broken Arrow nearly didn't make it off the field. Here's the kick. It's a short kick that hits at the 20-yard line and bounces almost straight up in the air. Now it takes a Jinks bounce. The Tigers pick it up at the 14-yard line. He's tackled immediately. That was a dangerous play.
Oh, that was dangerous. The whole thing is it's our ball. When they punt the football, you have to understand it's our ball. Don't do anything that's going to create a turnover.
He had about 5 Trojans around him. If anything goes wrong in that play, he's in deep doo-doo. But the Tigers still do get it. 1st and 10 from their own 14.
That was a good stop, and we needed that.
Yeah,
because
they
had the
a lot of
ball
credit
inside
there.
the 50, yes.
They pushed him back a yard on that.
Correct.
On that set of downs.
It's great defensive stand.
Can the offense go put points on the board here late in the 3rd quarter? 1:44 to play in the 3rd. Tigers trail 31-14. Stever takes it himself straight up the middle on the quarterback draw. Ooh. Oh, he's hit hard after a gain of 2 yards. He was hammered.
Yeah.
And you just remember 2 series ago limped off the field after getting his ankle turned a little bit. He's back upright, fortunately. 2nd down and 8 coming up. He looked like he ran the ball a little tenderly on that play.
Yeah. He was upright. Guy planted him right in the chest.
2nd down and 8. 2 receivers right, 1 left. 2 running backs in the game for Stever. Here's the snap. Little pitch play to the near side.
Good.
Horn trying to sneak inside the blocker. Can't quite do so. He's rolled up at the 20-yard line. That was a little bit of a tough collision between he and Ryan Fox. He does get a few yards on the play. It brings up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, I just like the thinking of the play. Get on the perimeter. You know, they're just doing a little quick pitch out there, and you get on the perimeter and see what let them make a move.
Well, and you kind of hold the eyes for a minute with the crossbuck action. You got Jones coming across the other direction, so there was some eye candy going on. 3rd down and 4. Trips left in a bunch formation. Here's the snap. Stever wants to throw. Looking right, he's hit. The ball comes out high. It's incomplete.
Well, he's got to pivot and throw that ball. That thing was open. He's just not in rhythm right now, you know, because that ball was there. You just got to get it quicker, because sometimes when you run these inside routes, I mean, I remember I asked my son, what's your footwork on the slant route? He says, just go right there. No, I said, no, what's your footwork? Is it on your 3rd step? Do you plant and go? And he goes, no, you just go right there. So the whole deal is find an opening, find an open space, and you got to get it there.
Oh, that ball may have been blocked. In any case, it's a high and short kick. Hits at the 40-yard line and takes a Jenks bounce back in towards the 37-yard line. Jenks nearly got to the football that time, and there's a Tiger down back at the 26.
Boy, he got.
That, it would appear, is Darian Perry, who's down at the 26-yard line, and Jenks is going to have another short field here.
Yes. Because that was partially blocked, if I'm not mistaken. It did look like it, didn't it?
It did. 31-14 the score. Jenks will have the ball when we get back to action. And you look at, going back to that slant pattern a moment ago, Jenks has good enough athletes on the perimeter. They're not going to be open for that long. Those guys are going to be able to recover. So if you don't get it out in a hurry and hit the window, that window's going to close pretty quick.
Yeah, especially with linebackers. See, so if you're doing a play action and then you're going to draw the linebacker in, then you've got to throw that slant route. It has a small window. You've got to hit that thing immediately. And so when it comes down to the quarterback, there is no footwork on it. It's like get the ball in and out of your hand if you have to. And for a receiver, it's not like how many steps you're going to do and move it in here. No, it's just you find that little open space. Because are they press covering? Are they bailing out on you? What is it? That's going to determine where that space is.
I remember, and please no one understand me to talk like I was any sort of football, talented football
You're
player.
You're a quarterback.
But, I remember the concepts that we were running at that time, all the receivers were essentially find space.
That's it.
Find the hole in the zone.
That's it.
And sit in it. It wasn't so much a run to this spot. Just It was a lot of reading what the defense was and what they were doing. First down and 10.
Did a
Hand
good
off
job.
over the right side again, wrapped up for no gain is Jaden Carroll. The Tigers have figured out something in the run defense game here.
Well, I tell you,
there's a little bit of extracurriculars going on here.
We got a lot of pressure on them there because they ran the counter and the counter was there, but the back was forced to kind of bounce just a little bit, so it really affected it.
Javion Franklin is playing peacemaker for the Tiger defense. He's saying, guys, don't be doing any lip service. Let's not get any silly penalties here. And that ends the third quarter with Jenks leading 31-14. 12 more minutes to go. We'll take a break, flip the field around. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Everybody loves spending fun money. What would you do if TTCU Federal Credit Union gave you $200? Maybe something fun for someone else. Or something for you and your bestie. Now you can earn a $200 bonus just for opening a new TTCU checking account with direct deposit. Now that's fun money you can really enjoy. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Welcome back to Broken Arrow Tiger Memorial Stadium. I'm Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine is on the sidelines for us tonight. Madison, it's been a little bit of an off and on game for Griffin Stieber. He's 10 for 15. He got a little banged up a little while ago. What have you seen from him on the sidelines?
Yeah, guys, after that last drive, he's very evidently frustrated, but remaining poised. He took a second on the bench to regroup, and he's remaining locked in. Guys.
Thank you very much. Madison Dildine working sidelines for us, doing a great job as always. And the Tigers are probably going to need Stieber to make some plays down the stretch here, make a couple of throws if they're going to make a comeback here.
Yeah, they're trying to keep him, in the center of the game plan as far as running the football and throwing the football. They're trying to make him the guy, and that's what we need to do.
If my eyes aren't deceiving me here, Dietrich Moore is lined up as a corner. Okay, now they're rolling another guy over there over the top of him. I was like, I don't know about that. Motion from left to right for Jenks on 2nd and 13 from the Broken Arrow 40. Here's the snap. Riesing wants to throw right. Now he scrambles. Under pressure, and he's undercut at the 48-yard line. A big sack for the Tigers. Coming through to make the stop was Mitchell Banning.
God, he's playing well. You know, this second half, I've seen him make 3 or 4 outstanding plays already. I mean, they're just incredible plays.
Tell you what, the Tiger defense has only given up 3 points in the second half, Spat.
I know, and they played great defense. We gave them the ball inside the 50.
Twice.
Yes.
They're trying to get back-to-back stops facing a ball. This one started inside the 40. This would be a big-time stop for the Broken Arrow defense. The jungle's going nuts down and to our right. A lot more pink in the jungle tonight than we're used to seeing.
Yes.
But they're jumping around down around behind the south end zone. 3rd down and a country mile. They got to get to Kowita for the first down. Screens it up to the near side, and it's deflected away. A beautiful play from Dietrich Moore.
Golly. Is he not such an instinctive player? You know, he comes off the edge clean, and they're trying to run a screen right behind him. But he gets those hands up and knocks it down. Great defense.
And now he's going to walk back and return a punt.
Yeah. Kid never gets off the field.
4th down and 21 to go. 11:07 to play in the 4th quarter. The Tigers are going to get the ball back. Here's the snap. The punt is away. It's an end-over-end toppling kick, and somebody was blocked into him at the 23-yard line. Moore made the catch anyway. The Tiger fans are wanting a flag for kick-catch interference, but that guy got blocked into him. Tigers will start 1st and 10 from their own 23.
All right, come on.
You know, Tigers are only running the ball for, well, if you take out the sacks, a little less than 3 yards a carry. It's tough because it's hard to take a deep shot here on 1st down when you're not quite sure how to get the ground game going.
I know. The score just dictates that we can't do. That's perfect.
But pass
right
to the far side. It's
Love
caught
it.
at the 29-yard line. He's wrestled down there. It's a gain of about 6 on 1st down. Caught by Marion Horn on the far side, or was that Spears Jennings? I think that was Spears Jennings.
Yeah. Well, see what he's doing. He's attacking the flats. Just keep attacking the flats. Get your run game. Find the opening in the run game, and then you can open up a shot.
2nd down and 4.
See, look how wide, look how deep they are in coverage.
Oh, somebody jumped. Who'd they get first? There was movement on both sides, and the officials are going to get together and talk about this. Jenks, of course, says it was Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow says it was Jenks. Looks like it's going to go against Broken Arrow.
Yeah. But see, if you looked, it was 2nd and 4, but you see how deep the secondary was. They're playing a quarters type concept, but they're really deep off the corners or deep off the wide receivers.
There's a MASH episode, Spav, where a running back comes in. An Iowa Hawkeye running back is in the war, and he comes in and he gets hurt. And he's talking to Radar, who's from Iowa, and he's telling him stories. And he said, I think it was Illinois that had him stopped, and they had to go to the short pass. And it seems like the kind of thing Broken Arrow needs to do. Here's a deep bomb up the left side. Marion Horn can't quite get there. Boy, that was as good of a ball as we've seen from Griffin Stever all day. Horn just couldn't quite get to it, and he's clutching his right arm coming off the field.
Yeah, because he dove for it. He did a God, it's great effort. And it's a good ball, just a little bit long.
And that needed a foot more air underneath it. And it would have been a right on
Absolutely.
the money.
But now that put us 3rd and long.
3rd and long. 2 deep safeties. They drop into cover 3. Pass over the left side is caught by Spears Jennings. He's hit hard at the 45-yard line, but he moves the chains. A snow cone catch from Spears Jennings over the left side.
What a catch. Now that guy.
Those are some Division I hands right there.
Yeah, he just impressed me.
1st and 10 from the 47. Here's the snap. Stever wants to throw, looking left, zips it to the near side. It's caught by Spears Jennings at the 45. Across into Jenks territory, all the way down to the 30-yard line, and he's ushered out of bounds. Well, they call him out at the 32, but it moves the chains again. Another nice completion to Spears Jennings.
But see, we're tempoing. What he did is he kind of threw the ball a little bit.
McMillan out, Horn in. So you got Spears Jennings on the left side, Horn on the right side. This is a matchup nightmare for the perimeter for the Jenks Trojans. Here's the snap on 1st and 10. They hand it to Jones, trying the right side. Not a lot of room. Spins off a tackle, but he's wrestled down by a couple of Jenks defenders for a loss of 2 back to the 34-yard line.
Cramps.
That's the same guy I think that was down a minute ago for Jenks that was cramping up. Ethan Bilgren able to get off the field. 9:47 to play in the fourth.
I thought we were going to break that. I mean, he was surfing the line there.
Well, when he broke out of that first tackle,
yes,
it looked like he had some room, but this goes back to Spav, something that you told me earlier in the week. This defense really runs to the football.
Oh,
and
gosh.
if they didn't do that there, then he would have had a lot of room to work. But they as a team, they get to the ball so well, it bottled him up anyway.
They do. I'm telling you, this mental game, there's things that kids can control, but it's really the factor is the coaching, making them control it.
2nd and 12, 2 receivers to either side. Stever looking left, still looking left. Trying the corner route. It is broken up, incomplete. Spears Jennings went up for it. He was hit, and he's slow to get up. That was Sterling Ram. No. Yeah, that was Spears Jennings that was down. He's up and walking back off the field.
He's a tough kid.
I think that was Joey Haver on the hit. Brings up 3rd down and 12. Another 3rd and long here, Spav.
I know.
Surely this is 4-down territory, yeah?
Oh, it is for us, yes.
That was indeed Joey Haver on the hit.
Good.
Here's the snap. Stever throwing over the left side. It is caught. A leaping catch made inside the red zone at the 15-yard line. Ryan Fox went up to get it and was hit immediately. Knocked down the play by Jalen Stanford, but the Tigers in business now at the Jenks 15. 9:10 to play, trying to make this a 2-score game.
I like that spin bootleg. That's really cool.
That's a tough throw, too, moving to his left side. That's his weak side. He got his shoulders squared up and delivered the ball. Trips right on the wide side of the field.
We got unbalanced. It's unbalanced to the field.
Motion towards the field as well. Here's a snap. Dump pass to Jones on the right side, trying to get the corner. He can't get there. Breaks a tackle, dragging a defender somehow. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even got a yard. He had no business getting a yard on that play.
No,
he
that's
got
just being a great athlete. He made a great catch to begin with. And just making the yards after the catch, God, what he did was just tremendous.
That's a tough play. Those bubble screens look easy. As the receiver, though, if you don't get deep enough, and it's hard to get deep behind the ball when you're in motion like that, you're basically running directly away from the football trying to make that catch. 2nd down and 9. Stever dumps it over the middle, too high. Oh, look out. Really hard hit. The ball is incomplete. It was too high to begin with. Quickly up off the turf is Joshua Wilhite, but he took a lick. Wilhite out, Osmond into the tight end spot.
Well, here's another 3rd down.
This is the third and long on this drive. Can the Tigers convert again? Stever fakes the run, now tries to dump a screen pass over the right side. Jones not a lot of room, somehow stays in bounds. He might have gotten the 1st down. Oh, no, they call him out at the 10-yard line.
What? Oh, man.
Boy, I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
That'll make it 4th down and 5 from the 10-yard line. The Tiger offense will stay on the field with 8 minutes to play.
The timing was even off on that play. You could see him hesitate and then throwing it. But, God, he made a great run.
He must have, as he tried to cut up the sideline, he must have just got his toe on the line. A timeout taken by the Tigers.
Good. That was a good timeout.
This is a big play. 4th down and 5. You got to make sure you get this right to give yourself a chance in this ball game.
Well, the important thing is not, you don't have to score. Just get a 1st down.
That's true, yeah.
You just need 5 yards.
And here's why you might be sitting at home thinking, why don't they kick a field goal? Because that would still get you down only 2 possessions. If you can find a way to get the ball in the end zone here, if you can hold them to a field goal and still be within 2 possessions. Right. So you give your defense a little bit of extra breathing room, and your defense has really stood up to the challenge here in the 2nd half.
Absolutely, and plus you can see the possession time in our favor now, and that's huge. Because typically when they have the football, the possession time just goes way up, and we don't have those chances to score. So This is an important down, but we just got to remember we just need 5 yards.
Look at some of the second half only numbers here.
See, the
Tigers have outgained Jenks 101-33 in the second half. The defense has been phenomenal.
Yes.
Broken Arrow still only rushed the ball for 12 yards in the second half, but they've thrown it for 89. And this has been a much cleaner half. Only one penalty for 5 yards combined in the second half. 4th down and 5 from the Jenks 10. 2 receivers left, 1 right. 2 running backs. They hand it off, trying to toss. Stieber's there. They pass it to the far side. It's incomplete. The throw is behind him. There was pressure in the face of the thrower, and it's incomplete. The play was there, Spav, just not enough time to get it away.
No.
And Stevers used to catch passes. He was a tight end last year.
I know. No, it just wasn't a good. The ball wasn't thrown well, and obviously a lot of pressure. You could see Jenks decided to put pressure on the play. And, it was a good call, but there again, you got somebody that doesn't throw the ball, typically throwing it. But if it worked, I wouldn't be saying that.
Right.
But there's.
Well, at that point in the play, 3 guys had touched the ball, probably all sweaty. Hard to get a good grip on it. And he had a guy coming at his face as soon as he got it, so he had to figure out how to grip it and get rid of it pretty quick.
And plus, we don't need to do all that to move the football.
1st and 10 from their own 10 for the Jenks Trojans. They hand it off over the right side, hit at the line of scrimmage, but powering his way forward as the ball carrier out to the 17-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play.
That's just old school football again, like I'm telling you. That's just the 2-back power.
Well, and for Jenks, they're in a position now, I was banning on the tackle, by the way, that they are averaging 7 yards a play, almost 6 yards a carry. For Jenks, this is the time where you just want to keep the ball on the ground and move the clock.
Right. That's absolutely right, because if they could just keep the possession time, the clock moving, then they'll control the rest of the game. There's
2nd and 3, handoff left side, stuck in the backfield and dropped for a loss. That was Federhoff who came through that time. It'll be 3rd down and 5. The Tiger defense, again, has been really good in the second half.
I know. They did good there because when they get that 2-back, 2 tight end power, they can go either side. They're going to take the invitation that is needed, but, boy, we did a great job defending that.
Seems like their run fitting way better here in the second half, which seems obvious considering they defended a lot better overall. But, again, that's not hard, or that's not easy to fit. That's a difficult play when it's balanced like that.
Oh, absolutely.
You're having to win some individual battles in that situation. 3rd down and 5, 2 receivers left, 1 right for Jenks. Reesing takes the snap, drops back, dumps it over the middle. It's caught at the 30-yard line. He's hit, bounces off a tackler out past the 35 and brought down at the 38. A big gain moves the chains for Jenks. It'll be 1st and 10.
Boy, we needed.
That's 3 or 4 times they've hit that about 15-yard dig route.
I know. They attack the middle better than anybody we've had as far as the passing game.
Reesing seems like a guy who's capable of throwing it to any part of the field, left, right, middle.
Right.
And downfield in those situations also. 1 receiver to either side. Under 6 to play. Broken Arrow trails 31-14. Handoff left side. Hit in the backfield, but tumbling forward was the ball carrier that time.
Well, just think of the first half. Just think of the first half. They run that counter, and they were getting probably 24 shot. Now we're shutting them down. We're doing a good job defending the counter and the run. What's getting us is that 3rd down conversions on the pass.
Jenks was 4 for 5 on 3rd down in the first half. They're 1 for 4 in the second half.
Yeah.
The Tigers are better offensively on 3rd down in this game, but still less than 50%, 6 for 13. Came in at just 24%
it's a lot better than the 20,
year.
A lot better.
2nd and 7. Hand off to Carroll, spins
Great
away
job.
from the defender, tumbles forward. You got 4 more out to the 44-yard line.
Well, they're going to run counter. They're going to run the clock down. What we got to be careful is the counter boot, the bootleg off of it.
Counter boot
Put a little quicker personnel in now.
Counter boot's a classic play, but it's a deadly play.
It's a real popular play with Jenks especially. They've made it successful over the years.
One to either side, one receiver that is. Here's the snap on 3rd and short. They hand it off to Carroll. He's swallowed up in the backfield. Absolutely no chance. Loses a couple back to the 43-yard line, and that will bring up 4th down and 5. Here comes the punt team for the Trojans.
That's a great defensive stop.
Spav, this defense has given up 3 points in the second half. Jenks was given the ball inside Tiger territory twice and didn't score on either of those possessions. It's been phenomenal in the second half defense.
It tells you we have the ability. We're just not having the consistency.
Snap is back, and the punt is away. It's a fairly short kick, wobbling down to the Broken Arrow 35-yard line, and it takes a Jenks bounce, still rolling all the way down to the 20. Inside the 20, well, that rolled all the way to the 19-yard line. Are there pink laces on that football? It looked like there were pink laces on the football.
Really?
Yeah. They certainly looked bright from up here.
That's not legal, is it?
I don't know.
If it is.
Maybe it is on Breast Cancer Awareness Night. I don't know. It brings up 1st and 10 Broken Arrow from the 19-yard line. You had to have some scores in pretty quick succession here at this point, but it's still an opportunity for your offense to work against the ones from an opposing team.
Well, now with the time, 3 minutes, we've got to open it up, and it's not one of those where we need to think about first down. This is the time now. I mean, when we got into the red zone, that's when you start thinking first downs and not so much scores, but now we've got to open it up here.
Spav, it strikes me as odd. We, in the pregame show, we're talking about the consistency that was found in the run game in the last week, and the Tigers needed to work on the pass game. Tonight it's been flipped.
I know.
Stever's 16 for 24 for 205 yards, a touchdown and a pick. That's serviceable. The run game, though, has been a struggle.
It has.
2.4 yards a carry, sack adjusted.
But I think that has a lot, well, the sacks have gotten us, but I think a lot of it is those 2 defensive linemen inside. They're good.
Yeah.
I mean, they control the middle. They collapse the pocket when we're throwing the ball. Which means you can't step up from the pressure on the edges.
Trips right on 1st and 10. Stever drops back, wants to throw it deep over the middle. That's too high, and it is incomplete. You could tell when it came out of his hand, it was overthrown, and the defender was closer to the ball. It made me nervous there for a minute, but
that didn't look right. It had 2 receivers in the same area.
Yeah, anytime you see 2 guys in the same spot, that's generally a red flag.
I mean, typically when you have that, you need an out, you need a curl, and you need a deep ball,
Quickly back to the line, the Tigers rolling out to the right side. Stever launches it to the far side. It's too high, incomplete. Ball's just coming out a little hot right now.
Yeah.
Brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Tigers from their own 19.
That was just 2 not very good plays, really.
That time they snapped it before Jenks was ready. They caught the defense off guard.
Yeah, but you can't sit there. You got a guy open. Give him the ball.
Broken Arrow with trips right on 3rd down and 10. Tigers converted 3rd and long twice on the last drive. Here's the snap. Stever looking left, now back right. Zips it. It is incomplete. That was thrown into coverage as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You mentioned this a little while ago. It has seemed like Griffin Stever has been out of rhythm for the most part in this game, which is odd to say considering he's 16 for 27 in the contest.
Right.
I mean, his numbers aren't bad.
No, it's just we got kids open. We got to connect them with the ball.
Garrett Lynch is out to punt again. The Trojans might have got one last time. If not, they were really close.
I don't think they're coming now, though.
The snap is low. He picks it up, able to get it away. A tumbling forward end-over-end kick is caught at the 47-yard line. A fair catch made there. And Jenks will start at his own 47-yard line with 3:19 remaining.
Right. Well, I tell you what I thought was kind of cool, one of our Hall of Famers, Larry Clark. Larry Clark's a great friend. But what was interesting was not only was he, he's running our 40-second clock, He announces the band up here, but when he goes down there, the band director is with him, but then he turns around and announces the band from the field because they can't do anything without him. He's such a tremendous asset. He's retired from football as far as his announcing. He's just a legend.
He's a mainstay, certainly.
Yeah. And
so he was actually involved in choir at the First Methodist Church downtown when my mom was back in the day. So Larry has known me since long before I knew Larry because I wasn't old enough to tell one face from another.
He's a legend, isn't he? I mean,
he is.
And then Richard Mosby, oh my gosh, he's been around here for 50 years doing what he's doing, and you can't live without the guy. The man just had a heart procedure, and I tell you what, the next day he's mowing his yard, doing stuff. I mean, he's an
I feel like the doctor would advise against that.
I know, he's an incredible guy. What he does is just phenomenal. There were some really good people there. Linda Gibson.
Some Hall of Fame caliber people, you might say.
God, just perfect people.
31-14 Jenks. 3:19 to go. The Jungle hasn't slowed down at all. They're still pretty fired up down there. Might have something to do with this being the first home game. They got a lot of energy to get out.
Right, I know.
Those who
they're
haven't made
amazing,
the
aren't
travel
they?
to the road games.
You know, that's Christian Wellborn. She handles all the student activity, and man, she's an amazing lady.
Tigers will be back on the road next week before returning home the following week for a Thursday night game. 1st and 10. Sidestepping a defender was the ball carrier Stanford. He tumbled sideways. He got about 3 yards into Tiger territory at the 49. Check that. That was Carroll on the carry.
This is a physical game. I mean, people aren't really realizing, but this has really been a physical game.
We've seen some really big hits, some big collisions.
Just like right then, there was a big collision. I'm telling you what, it's been tough. It's a tough game out there.
Dietrich Moore on that last stop. He's got pink and white camouflage on his left calf. I don't even know where you find that. 2nd down and 7, a pitch to the left side. Carroll cuts it back up, breaks one tackle, spins away from another. Now he's hit from the side and pushed sideways and now backwards by, about 2/3 of the defense.
I know. Let's see the pursuit. The pursuit was incredible then.
I apologize to the math teachers watching. I know that there's not a great way to get a whole number 2/3 out of 11 guys. I'm sure there's some sort of fancy fraction equation. Drop a PEMDAS in there and see what happens. I don't know. 3rd down and 4. Jenks moving left to right, under 2 minutes to play here in the 4th. One receiver to either side. Reising takes the snap, hands it off to Carroll. Trying the left side, defender slipped. He's got a big hole across the 35, and he is cut down at the 32-yard line. He did a front flip over the tackler. I think that was Javion Franklin on the stop.
Yeah, we missed the fit on that one.
That is Jalen Franklin we hear on the stop.
I think they're going to run the clock down, I think.
Down to 1:26. They can get it down to about 1:05 before they snap it. Jenks taking plenty of time to break the huddle. You know, as tough sledding as it was for the offense over the course of this game, as Carroll takes a handoff, tries to bounce out the left side. Oh, he took a lick from Dietrich Moore. Dietrich Moore hadn't slowed his pace at all. That was a big hit. But as tough as it's been offensively for Broken Arrow in this game, I get the sense that this is not – you're looking at a few changes from this being a very close ball game.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. The statistics are not – anywhere what we need. I think the whole first half is the fact that I had the ball 16 minutes.
Yep.
I mean, there's
2/3 for you, 16 to the 24.
Yeah, that's insane.
See, math teachers, I told you I could do math.
Yeah, I wish I could.
2nd down and 10. Jenks is in the victory formation. With 20 seconds to go, Riesing takes a knee, and that'll do it. The Tigers fall to 1-1 in district play on the year, 2-3 overall. Jenks improves to 4-1 on the season and 2-0 in district competition.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a tough physical game. It really was.
We saw all of 3 points scored in the second half combined between the two teams.
I know. We thought after the first quarter this is going to be hundreds of 99.
That's a good point. It was 14-14 halfway through the second quarter, or halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah.
And all but 10 points of the game were scored in the first quarter.
That's right. That's right. 2 good football teams, and I was impressed with their little freshman quarterback. I thought he did a good job.
He can sling it a little bit.
Defensively, we just turned the game around in the second half and really played well.
Let's go down to the sideline at Madison Dildine with Coach Blankenship.
Last week you praised your defense on how well they're settling into the scheme. What did you like from them tonight?
Same, especially the second half. They were physically dominant, and we got to get our offense on the same page and try to keep up with what our defense is doing.
Thanks, Coach.
Madison Dildine down on the sidelines along with Josh Blankenship, and Spav, we were just talking about it a little bit, but I think that defense does have a lot to be proud of. They were put in some very tough positions in the second half, and they gave the offense a chance to win.
And they responded.
Yeah,
they responded. I mean, think about it. Just look at the 2 times inside the 50-yard line. Outstanding.
No points.
Defense.
They went backwards on those 2 possessions.
That's right.
I mean,
outstanding defense. He found out what we needed to do. He took care of the counter play, which was very effective for him in the first half. They were running the power, and he made some adjustments that really stopped the power. So he really, I'm speaking of Coach Mon. Coach Mon has really done a good job with his adjustments going into the second half.
Tigers fall by a final score of 31-14 as we take a look at a few of the final numbers here. Griffin Stever threw the ball for 205 yards, so that was certainly a positive. The Tigers, one thing's bad that we had talked about all year, and there was a costly one early, but we had talked about how penalties were becoming an issue. Broken Arrow had 3 penalties for 19 yards tonight. That is a massive improvement.
Oh, gosh.
Coming into this game, the Tigers were averaging more than 9 penalties a game and almost 100 yards in penalties per game.
Gosh,
that is a huge step in the right direction.
No doubt. No doubt. And I tell you what, this is just, you could just see in us something special in there. Something's going to happen. I mean, I can see these kids really working hard and improving their game as they go through the year.
Well, and we knew going into week 1 at Mansfield Legacy that this, at no point was this team going to be a finished product. Even after the win, as good as they looked in that win, there was still a brand new starter at quarterback. You got new guys on the offensive line. You got a bunch of guys on defense. I mean, it took a while to put the pieces together, and I think those pieces are still trying to fit together. But you're seeing steps in the right direction, certainly. I mean, this is a Jenks team that shut out Union, beat them 22-0.
I know.
And so you're running with them. This was a one-possession ball game for a good chunk of the contest, and never got. I mean, late it got just outside of 2 possessions, but even there in the halfway through the fourth quarter, if the Tigers are able to get in the end zone from the 10-yard line, then we're looking at a 10-point ball game. And so it was not that far off.
No, I agree. The only game we've had that we played poorly in was the Owasso game. We just couldn't do anything right, both offense and defensively. But like you said, in the rest of the games, we've been in every one of them. We've been fighting. Even though it's 31-14, that's not indicative of what the game was about. We were, coming down on a 4th and down, on the 10-yard line. There's little things like that cost us some points. But you could see defensively we're going to get better as the year goes because we're playing pretty sound defense. We weren't so much the first half as far as the fitting game is concerned, but we made adjustments and we settled down and stopped that. But offensively is what really needs to come around.
Yeah, got to figure some things out on that offensive side of the ball. Again, an unexpected script flip tonight. Tigers really didn't run the ball well at all, but threw the ball okay. And so can you find a way to put those two things together? You don't generally have feast and famine in one half of the offense. Like it might be a feast or famine for the offense as a whole in a game, but you don't generally see them can't throw the ball one game, then you can the second game, but the run game flips on you. That's a little bit unusual. So we'll see if they can find a way to work on straightening that game out.
I think a lot of the what you got to do is you got to practice the fact that I'm throwing the football. I'm throwing the football. Now stop it. I used to have a deal in my drill where it was called third down. And you had to see how many offensively you could convert. And I would put you in all kinds of third down situations. First one may be 3rd and 3. You got to throw the football. Second one is going to be 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and even 3rd and 15. You have to be able to throw the football when you know it and everybody in the stands knows it. You have to be able to do that successfully. And you have to practice it.
We'll see if the Tigers are able to move in that direction. Next week, Edmond Memorial back on the road for yet another road game. and then a lot more home. I think there's only one more after that.
But you're not going to be with us next week.
I won't be there. I apologize to everyone. I will not be there. I'm going to take the week off. And my wife and I are going on a little vacation, which we're really looking forward to. So Ryan Wyckoff's going to step in for me next week and take over the play-by-play reins a little bit. I assure everyone that Spav and company will be able to carry you through, and then I'll, of course, be back with you the week after that. Let's go down to the sidelines one more time, and Madison Dildine, who was with us on the sidelines all evening, and Madison, kind of some ups and downs. You were able to get a good feel, from a different perspective, certainly. What are kind of your final thoughts?
Yeah, guys, the boys stayed refreshed, it seemed like. Obviously, the weather change has been beneficial in their favor. They're staying hydrated, it feels like. But overall, just kind of happy to be home. They've been on the road week after week after week, so definitely happy to be back at Tiger Memorial Stadium. Guys.
Thanks, Madison.
It's
nice not to have to jump on a bus and go home after that one.
That's a good point. Just, they're happy to be home. And they didn't play that bad. It's just, we played a great football team, and we played well. We had some really good signs, and I can just see a lot of good improvement along the way, and we're going to get better as the year goes.
Ice Bath's going to feel a lot better than a hard bus seat on the way after that game, after a physical contest. All right, well, that'll wrap things up for us tonight. 31-14, again, the final score. Jenks wins it over Broken Arrow. The Tigers now 1-1 in district play. Have a chance to get back in the win column next week at Edmond Memorial. So thanks to everyone for tuning in, all the students running the cameras, Madison Dildine on the sidelines, Terry Sprider, our producer tonight. Steve Spavital next to me. I'm Adam Hildebrandt saying good night and God bless from Broken Arrow.